And welcome everybody to the Jim Masters Show live. How are all of you? It's nice to see you today. Welcome to our entertainment lifestyle talk show series. Some 300 episodes or so of lots of light, love, levity, and levity, of course. Great conversations, spectacular, amazing guests, great entertainment, and all kinds of cool things that we do on this show live. That's right. We have epic events, conversations, and entertainment, and we do it live uninterrupted just about every day for you guys right here on the show. Nice to have you with us. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show live. I am your host, Jim Masters. I do this work professionally as a television and radio personality, writer, producer, journalist, actor, stage MC, voiceover artist, and have been doing this for a long time for television and radio and multimedia and stage. And we created this show as a way to connect with folks because we talk about so many incredible topics. We have so much entertainment, and we bring together a wonderful community of people that watch from all around the world. They either watch live, like right now, or they watch it later on demand, because on our YouTube channel, we archive every episode of our entertainment lifestyle talk show series, where we're literally bringing back the lost art of conversation. That's right. People don't really talk and converse like they used to with some of the old school talk shows. So we're bringing sort of that vibe into play here on the Jim Masters Show live, coupled with the modern vibe and modern sensibilities of today. Our viewers call themselves the Lovities. They're part of our Levity squad. And that's because I said light, love, and levity. And I said love and levity a little too fast. And I said Lovity back in the summer. And ever since I did that, all of a sudden, this show became so much about levity and cool times, great vibes, positivity, with guests from just about every background you can think of, all walks of life, whether they're entertainers or they're health and wellness folks or sports or comedians or they're, chefs, whatever it is. We welcome them here on the Jim Masters Show live, and they come from all around the world. We have epic conversations with our guests. This is a really unique show in terms of the way that we do it, like a television show, not really like a podcast or a stream, even though we are streaming live right now. We do it in the fashion and form of a television talk show, entertainment talk show, which I think is pretty cool. So we welcome everybody. It's nice to see you here. You're noticing there's a lot of pink. I'm wearing a pink turtleneck. Our font is pink. You probably noticed in our musical open, we had pink in the beginning. And there's a reason for that. And our guest is very involved in pink. And we will tell you about that in something called the Pink Hulk. Yes, you're probably saying, oh, what's that? Oh, that sounds fascinating. Her name is Valerie David. She's an award-winning, multi-award-winning playwright, producer, performer. And we're going to talk about her very inspiring story, actually, that has led to some of the incredible work that she is doing. We welcome you. As a matter of fact, keeping the pink theme in line with what our guest's theme is today. And of course, it's, kind of cool to wear it every once in a while. Hey, we've got some pink lemonade too. I tell you, we go all out on the Jim Masters Show live. So to match with everything, we have our pink lemonade. Yes, we toast all of you and you and you and you and you. As I say, when I do this, I go you and you and you. I feel like I should be in church where I'm doing you and you and you. And then I go up and down as well. But we'll take a sip right now. Nice and cold lemonade. Beautiful day here along the coast. We're in the greater New York area in the United States of America. This is the home base for this entertainment lifestyle talk show series. Again, check out our YouTube channel. We would love it if you subscribe to the channel, Jim Masters TV. Click the notification bell so you don't miss any of the amazing content and episodes and entertainment and great conversations with our guests. And we do host chat shows. We've gone on location. We've done shows that are themed. We did a whole Valentine's episode. We did a food festival. We do a lot of cool things with our viewers all around the world. It's also a very viewer-active, viewer-centric broadcast. So our viewers are commenting right now. There's a ton of comments already, everybody welcoming everybody. And they're going to welcome our guest as a Lovity as well. But first, let's check in quickly with a few of our Lovity viewers. And then we will welcome our very special guest, Valerie David, who's joining us here on the show. Again, it was a beautiful day here along the coast. We again are in the New York area, between New York and Boston, along the southern New England coast. And I hope wherever it is that you are located, you are having a good day today. And if you didn't have a good day, guess what? We are here to perk things up for you. Again, our guest, Valerie David. I love that shot. We have a ton of different shots, but there's something about that one that is very positive and very hopeful. She's going to be our guest in just a second, but let's take a moment to welcome some of our viewers from Holland. Willie is here. Good evening, Jim and my lovelies. This is my 250th episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. Thank you very much, Willie. We toast you, and I'm enjoying it as much as the first. On to the 300. Thank you very much. That is really what you call a true faithful lovely, because it's like 1 a.m. where she is in the Netherlands, and she's always with us, and we love her for that. And of course, we welcome you as well from the Jim Masters Show Live, and I personally welcome you guys here. Hello, Jim and all lovelies, from Merlin, one of our regular faithful lovelies watching from Canada. We love her as well. And already she's saying that Valerie is a lovely. Welcome to Lovely Hall. You are now a lovely, Valerie. And I already told her about the whole lovely thing. She loves it. Jennifer Barry is still glowing after her big birthday yesterday. We toasted her and celebrated her birthday towards the end of our show. Hi, Jim and lovelies. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Happy birthday wishes and the birthday toast yesterday. You made my 50th birthday more magical. Thank you. Perfect. You are very zen, and you get to celebrate your birthday all week long, Jennifer. You don't have to just do it yesterday. We'll celebrate it all week long along with you. In Cleveland, Ohio, Kathy Short is here. Happy Wednesday, Jim and lovelies. I hope everybody enjoyed their day. We still are, and I hope your day is going well, Kathy. Mary Bishop is here as well. We love when all the regulars are here, and then we have a lot of new people who discover us as well. Feel free to comment. A lot of people watch our show and they don't have to comment. You don't have to comment. You don't have to be typing these comments to enjoy our show. You can sit back and relax, whether we're live or you're watching this later in the archives. But a lot of our faithful regular lovelies, we've created quite a community here. They love to comment and share. Mary Bishop in Florida is good for that. Hello, Jim and lovely friends. Good to see you, Mary. In South Africa, Juanita is here. Hello, Jim and lovely family. Good to see you, Juanita, in South Africa, where it's also late into the night, into tomorrow already. Hi, Jim and everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday. And Wozniak is here as well. We love it. Good to see you as well. Tulips coming in from Willie. Our dear friend June Rachelson Aspa in New York City. Hi, all from on the road from Maryland to New York City. Good to see you, June. Safe travels. Valerie is amazing. Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very kind of you to say, Willie. Crystal Nolan in Connecticut, USA. Hi, Jim and everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Looking forward to an exciting show with inspiring conversation and, of course, our famous levity, which I think is really cool. Again, I said back in the summer, I said love and levity too fast, and we created levity. Barry's here. Hey, Barry, good to see you. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you here. And Barry asks, hope you're well. Have you any Irish interviews coming up? Yes, we have the Byrne Brothers coming up on Thursday, March 4th, live. They're going to do a mini concert. Mairead Nesbitt is coming back on the show. Neil Byrne from Celtic Thunder is coming back on the show, and more. So absolutely. Good to have you with us, Barry. And hi, Jim. Hope you had a great day. And hi, everyone from Kathleen Walker in New York City. Good to see you as well, Kathleen. Amanda Powers is here. Welcome, Amanda. Hope you subscribe to our YouTube channel and share it. We would love that. Welcome to the show. Amanda Powers, go Valerie, my favorite superhero. And Merlin saying she loves the pink background. Claudia is here. Welcome, Claudia. Hey, everyone. And Jim from Missouri. Hope you're all doing well. Happy Wednesday. Absolutely. Christopher Joseph is here. Hello, Jimbo and all lovelies. And Valerie David. And is here from SoCal, Southern California. Good to see you, Ann. Hello, everyone. Great to be here live today. And yes, be ready to be totally inspired as always, as we really, truly have a good time on the show. If you're joining us for the first time, this show is welcome to all ages, all genders, all backgrounds. It doesn't matter your politics, your income, none of it. Everybody's welcome to have a good time with us here on the Jim Masters Show Live. So as I mentioned, our very special guest is Valerie David, and we're so happy to have her here. Tell you a little bit about her. Multi-award winning playwright and performer, Valerie David is the writer and performer of The Pink Hulk. That's why the pink theme today. One woman's journey to find the superhero within. It's her award-winning inspirational solo show that chronicles her journey to become a 3-time cancer survivor. First, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in 1999, stage II breast cancer, 2014 to 2015, and then she had metastatic breast cancer, 2018 to 2019, which she conquered. So beautiful. She truly is a superhero, and she currently has no evidence of the disease, no trace of cancer as of April 2019. The Pink Hulk has been accepted into 38 different play festivals worldwide and is a testament to never giving up. It's won several awards, including the Audience Choice Award and the Shenandoah Fringe and WOW Award in Sweden's Gothenburg Fringe. My Gothenburg is actually, I think how you say it. That's where my great grandmother hails from in Sweden. Beautiful area. And she's also been touring when she was able to do that. And it's been featured in publications and on NBC, CBS, and Fox and magazines and so much more. And we are so honored to have her here. She's also a barrel of laughs too. We're going to have fun as much as we do talk about some really important topics as well with my very special guest with her cool pink hat. We're going to keep the pink theme going today. Valerie David, live from New York. Hey, Valerie, how are you? Welcome to the show today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Hey, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. And we toast you with our pink lemonade.
Yes, I'll pretend this is pink.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. That's it.
Yes.
And you've got it's the poster behind, right? I think it's sort of like that.
It is. It's a poster from one of my shows. And
now, who created this design?
Oh my goodness, Rebecca Calant. She is amazing designer. And I was in the Orlando Fringe Festival in 2017, and she had said that she was looking to redesign people's logos for the shows, and I told her I would love to have a logo, and she came up with it. And she's brilliant, and she's just been such a superhero to me, and I use that logo on everything.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. I love the superhero, and of course the pink. We love
superhero. Pink. Exactly. So you're a playwright, you're a performer, you're a producer. Before the Pink Hulk began, take us into your life prior to this fantastic production that you have, and some of your background within the arts and some of the inspirations that led you into the arts as well.
Yes. And I first want to give a shout out to all the friends that are watching. Thank you. And a special thank you to June for connecting us. And ironically, the photo that you saw me doing like that was taken in Gothenburg, where you said your great grandmother
my great grandmother, which is my mother. This is really interesting. This has been like theme week here. Last night we had Emmy, Olivier, and 3-time Tony winning Broadway and theater producer Jim Kierstead on.
Yes.
And his last name, Kierstead. There's a connection on my mother's side of the family with that last name, that being my grandmother's maiden name, same spelling as Jim Kierstead. And I was telling Jim that we have 100 relatives that we discuss. My mother's the youngest of 16, but we have, this is her mother's maiden name, so my grandmother's maiden name. So it goes back to Europe, but it's tied to also Canada, because they discovered a mountain in a town in Canada that has 100 more relatives with that name, and they discovered an area in New Brunswick called Kierstead Falls, Kierstead Mountain. The grandmother, Hilmer, that married Arthur, who has that last name, comes from Gothenburg, Sweden, and she was a princess, lived in a castle and part of the Swedish royal family. And then they came over from Gothenburg and settled in Boston, and then they branched out from there. So we have that connection. That it's amazing
Wow.
you're bringing that up.
Yes.
Yesterday it was the Curious
Yesterday.
Ed with Jim. I wonder what tomorrow's guest. They got their work cut out for them.
I know we should have a family reunion.
I was gonna say, so that was there.
Mhm.
That was there, huh?
Yes, that was there. And
what are you saying right there with that amazing expression?
oh my gosh, wow. I'm gonna get
Exactly.
verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves.
Wow is probably one of the things you were saying for sure.
Yes, that was a pivotal moment in the Pink Hulk where I completed a bike race 2 months after I finished chemo, radiation, and surgery, 8 months of treatment. And I didn't think I could complete a 40-mile bike marathon. And I did. And that's the lines of the show where I say, I beat you. I did it. I beat you, cancer. I won.
Yes.
And that was one of the most triumphant moments of my whole life, because it is a testament that if you can do it, right? And the bike marathon, crossing the finish line, Jim, was not crossing the literal finish line.
Right.
It was crossing the finish line from cancer.
From cancer. I mean, and you've dealt with various forms of it too on several different occasions, as I mentioned in the beginning, huh?
Yes, yes. And
thank God with the non-Hodgkins actually that you survived, because we did lose a cousin at age 34 who was a nurse at a hospital with a young daughter who did pass of non-Hodgkins. So you're very blessed to have survived that.
Yes, and I had stage III non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, so I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very sorry for the loss of your cousin.
Yeah.
And
she was stage IV by the time it's discovered. Yeah.
And it was interesting too, because non-Hodgkin's, usually the target is more men in their 40s, so it's less common with females. So the fact that your cousin was female and I was female, it's not as prevalent. So I was very grateful to have survived that and considered cured of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So yeah, it's been quite a journey. And interestingly enough, when you were talking about my life before that, I had always been in theater, always did theater since I was a little girl. When I was 6 years old, my first play was The Three Little Pigs, and I was actually the fourth little pig. A part was created for me, and so I remember singing and dancing, and I was hooked ever since. And I was born in New York, but we grew up in Virginia, but my family all was still in New York, so we used to come all the time to visit. And I was bedazzled by Broadway shows when I was a little girl, where we wore patent leather black shoes and tights and ruffled shirts, and we dressed to the nines as a little girl. And it was a big event in my family, and it always has been and always will be. And so I was hooked with theater, and since I was a little kid, as far back as I can remember. Yeah, so it was interesting. So when I kept doing theater, and I graduated from James Madison University, and then I got the theater bug again when I was in Northern Virginia, and I was like, I want to go to New York and go back to my roots. And I graduated from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and then started doing theater. But ironically, 2 years after I graduated, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, so I had to put it aside. But I kept going, and that's the thing in life. Whenever something happens, we know that we have to keep going, and we've got to fight and be the Hulk and Hulk out on any adversity in life, not just cancer.
Right. Exactly. So Tell us about the progression from having these different diagnoses and then the creation of the Pink
Yes.
Hulk. When did you realize to sort of marry this story together? We do have clips and video and all kinds of cool
Thank
things to
you.
show you guys. It's going to be wonderful. But tell us about the inspiration for creating the Pink Hulk.
Sure. It was so interesting because 15 years later, after lymphoma, I went to Aruba with my best friend to celebrate being cancer-free for 15 years,
Yeah.
the 15th anniversary. And that was July of that year. And I had found a lump and I wasn't sure. And I said, there's some, this instinct, something wasn't
You
right. And
can,
you
right.
need, Jim, to pay attention to our bodies. And that is
Yes.
such a great message that I want to tell everyone, that don't ignore that inner voice because it's telling you something. But I was a little, well, I'm going to go celebrate. And then I was still growing concerned with the lump. And I ended up, a month after I got back from Aruba, I got checked and it turned out that I had stage 2 breast cancer. And I have to do a shout out to Joan Lyman. I remember I was starting a job with new insurance and I was going to wait 3 months to get that lump checked because of insurance, that I was going to get better insurance. I was like, I'll just wait.
That's what a
And
lot of people
a lot
do,
of people
right?
do. And that would have
Could have
cost
been
me
a
a
totally
lot
different,
more.
yeah.
And I remember we were at a tea shop and I told her, and I said, I found this lump. And she's like, and this is in the show. And she's like, you better go get that checked right away. And I
Yes.
went to Dr. Natalie Stevens' office, who was my doctor, and Dr. Keedy in her practice looked at me and she said, you need to go back to your cancer hospital right away. And within days, I found out it was stage 2 breast cancer. And I remember being so angry. And that's where the Pink Hulk
Because you
started.
had gone through the non-Hodgkin's
Yes,
already, and
yes.
now it's like, what?
Right. It's like, again, I was like, I filled my cancer quota. And so I started a regime of I was BRCA negative. So BRCA positive, if you have breast cancer and you're BRCA positive, you have an 80% chance of getting breast cancer. So since I was negative, I opted for the lumpectomy. And then I had chemo and radiation. And the irony with the chemo is that I shared some of the same chemo drugs as lymphoma. And I ended up having to have chemo light, a little bit of a lighter chemo, because I maxed out on the drugs from lymphoma on some of them. And then I had surgery. And I felt like after that, I said to myself, there's a show here. And this also was a crazy thing that happened that never would have materialized. Like, I didn't think about it. So I went to high school with the Green Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, and he was there for my lymphoma, and he's had his health as well. And so we both have, really bonded over that. And so the night that I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and this is how the Hulk happened, I was so angry, Jim, and I emailed him at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I said, Mark, I'm so angry. I have a cancer again, and I am so angry. I feel like I could be your Hulk counterpart, but I would be pink.
Did you be the pink version, right?
Right. And lo and behold, the Pink Hulk came out of that. And the title couldn't be more fitting, because we know the Hulk is that green color. And the irony is, every cancer has their own ribbon. And the ribbon for lymphoma is green, the same Hulk green. And then the pink represents the breast cancer. So that's why it was called the Pink Hulk. And when I have 2 loves of my life, and that's acting and being a journalist and a playwright. So the creation of the Pink Hulk was a perfect marriage of writing and acting. And therefore that became the Pink Hulk. So I married the 2 loves, and I had written shows in the past, like 2-person shows and a couple other 1-person shows. But this one and all of that brought me to today, like why the show is. And it was such an incredible journey. And I remember I was so passionate. And you had something on your Facebook page yesterday that said, never forget your passion or your purpose. And I felt that this was my purpose, and that because I had cancer twice and 2 different kinds of cancer, I had a story to tell. So I remember also at that time, I have a lot of funny things that happened. That I just embrace. And I was had a foot injury, and I was on a scooter for 3 months with an air cast. And I remember Thanksgiving of 2015, which is the same year I finished treatment. I was at my sister's, and I couldn't do much for Thanksgiving, so I decided to start writing the Pink Hulk. And in less than 6 months, it went from page to stage, from the beginning of writing it, and then its first production was in June of 2016, and I couldn't stop writing. You know, my mom was like, "You got to take a break." I'm like, "No," and it just came out of me. And I remember my oncologist at the time was very encouraging to me to say, "You know, I do think you have a story to tell," and I'm so proud of the show. But you never know what can happen. So I hoped to make a difference in people's lives with a universal message of hope and empowerment. And I had no idea it exceeded my wildest dreams. And I was very lucky that I have directors, Patrick Lillis and Maris Heller, that helmed it. And I had readings beforehand and really honed it. And with the touring, it had changed a lot as well. And the irony, so I had cancer twice. And then the 3rd time I was diagnosed with cancer was the day I was opening the show in Portland, Oregon in 2018. And I said to myself, I was going into a tech rehearsal that morning, and I was in Portland. So it was 10 o'clock in Portland, and I was walking into the theater, and I got a call from my oncologist because and here's another thing where I feel like there are no accidents.
Right.
Right before I went to Portland to do the Pink Hulk, I was working on another show called Baggage to Baghdad, which is a solo show about my family fleeing Iraq in 1941. And I was a writer in residence for a wonderful group called Live and in Color. And what I was doing there was, it was in Connecticut, and we were there for a week, and I was working on it. And I felt these horrible chest pains, Jim. And I said, uh-oh, not again. I know. Yeah. And this is so breast cancer is 2015. This is now 2018. And I said, uh-oh, not again. And I remember it was a beautiful writing in residence, and it was overlooking these beautiful countryside and mountains. And I said to myself, I have cancer again. I just know it. So I called my oncologist, and I spoke with her office, and I said, I have cancer again because I have these chest pains. And they're like, no, it's probably just a pulled chest muscle. And it turned out to be stage 4 metastatic breast cancer that spread to my chest bone and rib. And that's why I was having the pain. So during that, from that time period up until I was doing the Pink Hulk in Portland, Oregon, I had gotten a biopsy and gotten some tests done. And I knew that I was going to find out sometime during my course of performing in Portland, Oregon, that I was going to maybe find out. And I remember that morning and going, just not today. I don't want to find out today. Every day this week, but not the day I'm opening the show.
Having a good hair day today.
Exactly. Having a good hair day. It was a happy Thursday. So I remember getting that phone call, and indeed it was stage 4 breast cancer. And I said, the show must go on. And I performed that night, and I didn't let it stop me. And the irony is that picture where I say, I beat you, cancer. I did it. I won. I had to say that night. And it was so hard to say that, because I was like, in my head, I was like, I beat you, cancer. I did it. I won. Maybe. I'm not sure. I have cancer again. And I decided then, to not say anything until I got back to New York, and figured out what next steps were going to be. And I completed the run. And the irony, it was Eleanor's festival. It was the Come Inside Sex and Culture Festival. So I also think it's very funny that I gave cancer a new face, because my show is very humorous and very, it's a sexy one-woman show. And so I celebrate my womanhood with that show. And it was one of the many festivals I was in, and I was very proud to be in that festival, because as with breast cancer, which was different from lymphoma, and I thank you to all the photographers. That was Lauren Adler, and that was taken by Mr. DeWitt, and the other one was Dixie Theremin in Gothenburg. And so I want to give a shout out to all those supporters. And this was Emily Hewitt, who also is a photographer. I'm very lucky to have these wonderful photographers taking the live action photos.
It's a one-woman show, right?
It's a one-woman show, and it runs about 75 minutes. And so the irony of the evolution of the Pink Hulk is that I had to change the ending 3 times. So the first ending, I had cancer twice. And then after I was diagnosed with cancer for the 3rd time, I did a new ending where I had put on a cape at the very end. And I said to the audience after the show, I said, there's a little bit more to the show. And I said, I have cancer again, but I am going to keep fighting. And just like I fought 2 times before, I am going to keep fighting. And the end line was, stay tuned. And then in April of 2019, I got the wonderful news that the medication, and they were oral medications this time, not chemosurgery or radiation, that 5 months after I was taking these oral medications, there was no trace of the cancer. I had a 100% response to this drug that I'm on, and less than 3% of people on this drug have a 100% response. So I'm very, very grateful. So then I had to change the ending again for the people.
Very, very, very
exactly. And as in the clip. And so then I changed the ending a 3rd time. And at the very end, when I'm talking about the 3 times, it's never, ever, ever give up hope. And that's the message that I want to say. And I think the interesting part with lymphoma versus breast cancer was that with breast cancer, it really affected my womanhood. There were, and the thing about what's resonating from the show is that it's brutally honest, but also very funny. So I don't sugarcoat that this put me into early menopause and, physical changes that are permanent. So it's something that I'm living with and rising above and not letting anything stop me. And so any side effects from the medicine, it's not stopping me from doing anything. And I've been feeling fantastic since I started the medication. And so the interesting part with breast cancer is that, and why it's the Pink Hulk is such a celebration of womanhood, because I felt that breast cancer robbed me of some of being a woman, making me feel less whole than lymphoma had done. And I want to say to people out there not to feel less than with anything that happens in your life. And there was, when I did the show at the Pittsburgh Fringe Festival, there was a reviewer who reviewed the show, and he revealed in the review that he had testicular cancer, and he understood how I felt. and said that, and that's why the show is so universal, because it's not just for women, it's for men. And even though we had 2 different cancers, he said in his review, I felt this the same way she did. You all go through the same emotions whenever you have cancer. It doesn't matter what kind of cancer you have.
Right.
And then the other thing about the Pink Hulk is that it's not just about cancer. It's about living life on your terms and taking the bull by the horn. And the interesting thing about this drug, and why I'm on it, is because in between acting, I do work at an ad agency, and I was on Verzenio is the drug, and I was on its ad campaign 8 months before I was diagnosed. And it's for metastatic breast cancer. And I remember reading the campaign going, wow, that looks like a great drug. I don't have stage 4 breast cancer, but wow, that looks like a great drug, and very effective. And it was approved in September of 2017. So when I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, my oncologist at the time said to me, I'm going to put you on this drug for metastatic breast cancer. And I said, I was on the ad campaign for this other drug. I said, would you mind if I tried that one instead? And she said, whatever you want, Valerie, I leave this up to you. Give me, take a day or 2 and then let me know which drug you want to take. And then my gut said to go with this one.
Yeah.
And it was the one that worked.
Isn't that amazing?
I know there are no accidents.
No.
What were the chances of me being on the ad campaign?
Yeah.
And then taking that drug 8 months later?
Life's full of teachable moments and lessons learned. What are some of the things that you've learned about life and about yourself that maybe you weren't sure of, or were confirmed, or were new things that you learned about life and yourself going through all of that and coming out of all of that?
Right. Well, that's a wonderful question. And what I've learned, and what I keep learning, because I feel like I'm learning every day, I think that what's so important is having a support system. And I'm so grateful for my family and friends that rallied around me 3 times.
Yes.
3 times.
Trifecta.
Yes, trifecta. My mom and dad, David and Rhoda David. Yes, my dad's name is David David, and that's also in the show.
David David?
David David, yeah, because I kid around that his nickname is Double D, and then I joke that I'm Double D, so we have this see,
We're
there's
not
humor.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Exactly. We're not Dunkin' Donuts, though I love Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
So America runs on Dunkin', and Valerie runs on life. And so I think, and then my friends that were there for me and that just sent cards and calls. And I remember I was never alone when I was getting treatment. And it was so incredible how everyone just helped. And for instance, I had radiation for 5 weeks, every day, Monday through Friday. And I made this chart, and I said, okay, everyone, it was 6:30 every day, Monday through Friday. And so I had to fill the calendar with friends, and people would sign up. I'm like, okay, you're signing up. Like, I don't know if you remember, I love Brady Bunch, and Marsha Brady was like, I'm going to sign up for this and this and this. So I said to my friends, you're going to sign up. And everyone
Jan would be
up.
jealous.
That's right. Marsha. So all my friends, so I was never alone. And so with treatment, and, I had a friend, the one thing that happened with me is that I did have an allergic reaction to one of the drugs when I had stage 2 breast cancer. And for some reason, it just didn't take. And I would have to go to the hospital in the middle of the night. I would get a fever, and I'd have complications. And I remember my one friend, Jen, it was midnight, and I remember just being so upset that I had to go to the hospital. I'm like, I'm on the way to the hospital, and it's midnight. And you know what she said to me? I'll be right there.
Best
And she
answer.
stayed with me. Yeah.
Best answer.
Just, and I remember when I had lymphoma, I had a complication, and I was with my friend Denise, and we were watching Casablanca, and it was the first time I'd ever seen it. And I started getting a complication. And so we had to ditch watching Casablanca and run to the hospital, and she stayed with me. And then my mom and dad and sisters, Jennifer, my sister Pam, shout out to them, love my parents, love my family and friends. Jennifer and Pam would come also helping me as well. And I'm so grateful and to them. And it was just, and having them help me when I wasn't feeling well. My sisters would help clean and do laundry. So it was a wonderful thing. And so I remember the one thing my mom said that I'll never forget is I had a complication, and they were living in Virginia Beach at the time. So she and my dad would try to come as much as they could. And I remember I was in the hospital and I wasn't feeling well again, from a complication. And luckily, again, everything is fine. But I remember my mom, it was the middle of the night, and I woke up and she was up in a chair. They didn't have any beds at the time, so she was sleeping in a chair. And she looked at me and she said, "I wish it were me and not you."
Because no parent wants to have it happen to their child. Right.
It was
Right.
just, I'll never forget
Yeah.
that. And so what I learned was the power of family and the power of friends. And I had cousins coming to help, friends coming to help, people bringing food, doing laundry. And I think what I learned is that and this is the tagline of the Pink Hulk, is one woman's journey to find the superhero within. And what I learned is that we all have a superhero inside of ourselves. And we just need to believe that, and that we can activate that superhero. And there's nothing that we can't do if we believe in ourselves and have people believe in us as well. And I'm so grateful for the doctors I've had and the oncologists that have, literally saved my life. And I think it's important to know also, and I think what we're going through now in these times, that people are afraid to ask for help, and people are afraid to admit when they're in pain. And right now, a lot of the people in this world are in pain, and never be ashamed to get help. And I remember getting counseling and going to support groups. And it's really important to not be afraid to get help, because we all need help. We are globally fighting, this pandemic. And so we're all here for each other. And I think that's important. And to know the strength that you have. Like when I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, the day the show was opening, I said, I'm going to do it. And I think the power of saying, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And not doubting yourself. And even with that bike race where you saw, I remember that morning, I biked with a few friends, and I told them the night before, I emailed them and I said, I just want you to know that if, I'm probably not going to complete it. And don't worry, I'll just drop out and you guys go ahead. I'm sure that I'm not going to complete it, but I'll be there and I'll try. And my friend Wendy told me after the bike race, she said, I knew you were going to be able to do it. And I remember the triumphant feeling, Jim, with the mile markers, that the New York TDF, TD Bank, TDF is Theater Development Fund. I'm in my theater mind, but TDF Bank had sponsored the 5-borough bike tour, and they had put up mile markers, 10, 20, 30. And I remember just crying and just being like, oh my gosh, I just hit 10. Oh, I did 10. Okay, good. We're good doing it. And this is all on the show. 20, and then 30. And then I was crossing the Verrazano Bridge, and it's this huge bridge, Jim.
It's huge, and it's
Right, it's huge,
long,
and yeah, and it goes into Staten
very
Island, and
intimidating, yeah.
intimidating. So anyone Google and get a Google picture of the
Imagine the guys
Verrazano
that go to
Bridge.
the top and paint it too, and the
Oh,
wind. God bless them.
never. God bless them, because I am afraid of heights. So you'll never, when the job, when
When the
James,
red bulb burns out on the top, the one that blinks, somebody has to go to the top and replace it.
exactly. When James Lipton used to, with Actors
The actor
Studio, say,
studio.
what profession would you not be? It would be that.
That's the
Because
one.
I would be terrified. I'm so afraid of heights. So I would not be doing that. And I remember, going up that hill, and it was an uphill. And then once you
And
hit the center,
it
then
goes down.
goes down. And I remember when I hit that center, and I knew I was going to finish. And I remember pedaling as fast as I can. And it's funny, because I'm the tortoise, not the hare. And I am slow, but I am mighty and powerful. And I remember pumping my legs, and there were these muscular guys that got off their bikes, and they were pushing their bikes. And even though I was going 1 mile an hour, I was like, ha ha ha. I was like, you can't even go up this hill. And I remember just being even more motivated. I'm like, look at these athletes, and I just finished cancer 2 months ago. And I remember pumping my legs. And no matter what, I'm not getting off that bike. And no matter what, I am not walking that bike. I am going to not stop riding.
Get over there, right?
And when I saw the descent, I remember, Jim, I was screaming. I was like, ah! And I'm sure people were like, okay, there's a wacko bike rider next to me. And I was like screaming. And I remember going down, just like that, screaming, going down the hill, and turning that corner and crossing the finish line. And I remember screaming at the people that were working there at the finish line to make sure everyone was okay. I was like, I just finished treatment for breast cancer 2 months ago. And I started screaming. And it just showed what mind over matter.
Mm-hmm.
If you put your mind to it, and even if you have doubts, and even if you are afraid, push through that fear, and let that fear motivate you and not destroy you.
Right.
Let that motivate you to keep going.
Because a lot of people, they stay stuck in the fear.
Exactly.
And it keeps them limited. It's self-limiting belief, and it keeps them. And sometimes it's self-imposed, or sometimes the world has also put it on us. So we've absorbed it through the years. You can't do that. You'll never be able to do that. Don't even try. Don't even, and sometimes that becomes ingrained, and that can be as detrimental as the self-imposed limitations. So you meet the fears head on, and you've met several in your life. Talk about not only, the superhero, but also very resilient, to be able to be relatable to others who are going through struggles too, right? You probably always were empathetic and cared for people and their struggles, but now you really fully get when they open up and they emote, and they're really pouring out their heart about their fear, their worry, their concern, their confusion, the black clouds hovering over. You can identify with all that and sort of help them through it, through the use of, conversation, but also through the Pink Hulk, huh?
Exactly. And the thing too is that, I remember too that, and when you're saying about the naysaying, and and pushing through that, and I love my parents very much. And when I was doing the Pink Hulk, because it wasn't, I wasn't even a year out of treatment, and it was page to stage, and from November to June of and my parents were worried about me. And I remember my mom is very funny, and she's from Brooklyn. She's like, maybe you should get an understudy.
Yeah.
This is too much for you. Your father and I are a little worried that or maybe you could do it in repertory, do some of them, but not all of them.
Sounds a little Edith Bunker there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Archie! Yeah. So my mom's hilarious. And so I get my comedy from both my parents, though my mother will probably say it's solely from her.
Yeah.
But I remember saying, Mom and Dad, I said, don't say that I can't do it, because I know you're concerned about me, but by you saying to me, you need I get an understudy, you're saying that I'm not going to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. And I want you to know I can, and I will do it. And then they understood where I was coming from, but I had to say, you know what? I will do it. And I'm not going to, it's not going to stop me from doing it. And I love you. And I know you're concerned, but I won't let it stop me. And then it kept going. And so, and I think that's really, you're right. Is it ingrained, or is it fear, and to keep going? And the Pink Hulk has inspired, and I'm actually gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna run to, I forgot to bring, I get gifts from the show.
Oh, no, that's fine. We have a running gag here where for some reason a guest always ends up having to leave the chair that they're seated in. So we have a string of episodes where we see the guest's chair. They have to, privately just leave the room for a second. They have to recharge their phone or their laptop because we've been chatting for a while and their laptop dies out, or they have to run and get something that they want to show us. So we always see, so this crowd would be excited if they get to see your empty chair. Well,
let us continue the tradition.
that tradition of the guest's empty chair. And we're going to do an episode where we tell the viewers, okay, no, here's this episode, here's this clip from this episode, which guest was in that chair, and we're going to string them together, and it's going to be all the empty chairs that we've seen.
That is so funny. So if you want to play the clip or a trailer, I can run real quick.
I could too. Yeah, we'll look at your chair and
we'll look at the blank chair. And I will run because it's a very special gift that I got that I wanted to share, and I realized I left it in another room. So here's the empty chair. Let the Gym Masters tradition prevail. I will be right back.
And we'll show, we'll see your empty chair, and then we'll show the Pink Hulk trailer.
Thank you.
All right. There's the chair. Cool looking chair. There you go. It's like a wooden chair. Everybody's happy. I know Juanita is dancing in South Africa. And here's the trailer. We have several cool videos of the actual action on stage. Here's the trailer for the Pink Hulk. Enjoy. And then we'll be back with more. We have a lot of video and cool things to show you guys. Hope you're enjoying. Everybody watching on YouTube, we would love it if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that notification bell. You can see all the great episodes of not only the Gym Masters Show Live, but also our Masters Mantras series, which is an inspirational series of short commentary and short videos that I've been really doing for years on Facebook. And we have a whole series of those at Gym Masters TV on our YouTube channel. So you have the Gym Masters Show Live, this series on Gym Masters TV on YouTube. And then you also have our Masters Mantras, a quick video, inspiring video series. Speaking of video, here's the Pink Hulk trailer.
Hi, it's Valerie. I need to find someone to have sex with. I didn't want this to be just about cancer. It's about fighting back any adversity in life. My lust for life is being fulfilled. I am ready to kick cancer's ass. I feel like this show is honest and it doesn't sugarcoat anything, but I hope it also brings a lot of humor as well. Do you think there's a difference between my two breasts? Can you feel them and check them out for me? You have to be honest, and it has to be painful. And if it's not painful when you're writing it, then don't bother being a writer. I am as enraged and angry as the Marvel superhero, the Hulk. How the hell Could this be happening again? I really want to sign up for the 40 miles. Do you think I should? There was someone who had MS who came up to me and she was crying and she's like, I stopped biking when I got MS and I saw your show and I want to bike again. And I pumped my legs even harder climbing up that huge hill. Go, 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 keep going. And I realized how cancer has shaped me both as a person and as a woman. I want to inspire people. We are very much stronger than we think we are. There's a superhero inside of us that we don't realize.
Just want to show you some of the great comments coming in. Ann Wozniak saying, Valerie, you're so inspiring. Thank you for sharing your story. Karen in Nova Scotia says she loves when I do the master's mantras. I've been doing those for years, yes. Those positive, and then I have a video series that we do on our YouTube channel as well. Karen also saying empty chair. They got a chance to see the empty chair.
I love it.
And what's cool about the story, having beaten cancer and various forms of it 3 times, is the chair was empty only temporarily, and then you're back. Right. And that's very positive. It's sort of an inspiring thing to see the empty chair and then you're back. This is an inspirational conversation. You are wonderful and have such strength. Valerie, thanks for sharing your journey with us. Christine Clifton watching in North Carolina, and Kathleen Walker, you are quite an inspiration, and she's in New York City. She just lost her mom a couple of months ago. And Danilo, who's watching in San Diego, superhero, the Pink Hulk. Absolutely. I agree. Some more comments coming in from our lovely viewers. We've got some wonderful thumbs up from Mary Bishop. And of course, they love the empty chair. Kathleen, Juanita, South Africa, Merlin in Canada. We've got a whole thing with the empty chair. It's a running joke, but it's fun. You got to have levity too, as you know.
Yeah.
As much as you have levity, you got to laugh. You got to look for the punchline. You got to tell the joke, because a lot of people are very morbid and they're not smiling. They don't get the joke. And I've always, and I get that from my father, I use humor a lot in, when appropriate. There's times when humor isn't appropriate, of course, but I use humor and interject it whenever I can. And it's something that comes automatic for me. It's like an automatic response to things that gets other people laughing and other people, relaxed, and their blood pressure lowers. And I think it's a very important thing to use levity and humor whenever you can. Linda in Florida says, Valerie, have you ever thought about making a movie about you taking on cancer, not once or twice, but 3 times, and beating it? That would be such an inspirational movie to those still fighting cancer. Juanita in South Africa, you have such wisdom and inspiration to share. Will you be writing a book about your journey? Hearts from Bernadette Vidal. Catherine in Duclos, who's in Maine, says, fear teaches you everything, even that death can't beat you. Linda in Florida sending you a lovely hug, Valerie. Aww. Catherine says, you go, girl. Bernadette says, slow yet steady wins the race. Absolutely. June, of course, our dear mutual friend, wisdom that we all need. Juanita in South Africa, glad that you've had an opportunity, glad that you've had amazing support structures helping you through. Prayers from Kathleen Walker. Mary Bishop in Florida, sending you hugs, Valerie. Bernadette saying, God bless your strength. Danilo in San Diego, California, what a great choice, following your gut feelings. You are blessed. Kathy Short in Cleveland, Ohio. That's amazing. You're such a survivor. Crystal Nolan in Connecticut, another one of faithful levity we have here. I love your upbeat, positive attitude. You're an inspiration to all of us. Catherine Duclos in Maine. You are unstoppable and you'll always survive. Bernadette says, go, Valerie, you're a trooper. Bernadette also says, so inspirational. My mother died of cancer, so I'm happy that you are still fighting it, Valerie, and of course, succeeding as well. Merlin in Canada, what wonderful strength you have. And that's beautifully said. Danilo said, I'm really very impressed how you kept fighting. Congratulations. That's beautiful. And when you were doing, the poses and all the different cheers, Catherine goes, "Go sexy lady." And also you are powerful and beautiful and brave. Mary saying, what a wonderful, inspiring story, which we love hearing from Mary, who's in Florida. And Linda, also in Florida, congratulations for overcoming 2 different kinds of cancer. And Juanita, amazing life journey that you went through and coming out of with such a positive attitude. Christopher Joseph, love your great attitude. What an amazing and beautiful journey. And the Green Hulk pulled you through, thank goodness. And the Pink Hulk saved you.
Oh.
Bernadette, so happy for you that you beat the cancer. And that's fantastic. Bernadette also welcomes you as a Loveity. Welcome to Loveity Hall. Your inner voice is always the true voice. Bedazzled and all dressed up. Let's see, we have more coming in here. Happy for you, Ms. Valerie, for beating cancer. You're a preciously blessed one. God bless you, Valerie, for your cancer-free. Really, really nice. She loves, Crystal loves the poster, the Pink Hulk, the design as well. Good evening, Valerie. You're a Loveity now, one of the Jim Masters Show Loveties. So how does it feel? I say to all the guests, there's Peabodys, Oscars, Emmys, Tellys, Tonys, Grammys, and then there's a Loveity on the Jim Masters Show live. Are your feet tingling about now?
Yes. And I wanted to say thank you again, Jim. And people out there, subscribe to Jim Masters' YouTube channel. There are amazing interviews. I mean, he's incredible. He is a superhero. So please subscribe to his channel. And circling back to the Masters mantra, that one that I really noted was the exact words were, "Never lose your passion or your purpose."
Right.
And so when I left,
and those come to me. They're
wonderful
to me, and then I have an urgency to post them and share them with the world.
Yes, and I want to say a shout out to my college friend Alice, who made me these Pink Hulk pens. I think it's upside down, Pink Hulk pens. And you can keep in touch with me at pinkhulkplay.com and pinkhulkplay@gmail.com. And I wanted to give something special to Jim, by the way. I also found the Gothenburg Fringe program in memory of his great grandmother. Here's the exact program from Gothenburg when I did the show. And at that show, I was so honored that I won the WOW Award. And speaking of fear and pushing through that fear, it was the first time I'd gone overseas to do the show, and I was terrified. And with English not being the main language, I was really worried about how it would translate in another country. And the fact that it won the WOW Award, the highest award, showed me that the Pink Hulk does have a universal message of hope and empowerment, and that it had transcend just beyond the US into a global show.
Other parts of the world too, huh?
And speaking of global,
wow, look at that.
I didn't even mean to say that. What a great segue of the globe. I did the show for the New York festival, New York Gene Fisher's festival. And after the show, this gentleman, Russell Deasy, gave me this after the show and said to me, "You need to do this show all over the world." And he gave me this amazing globe that I love, stuffed globe. And it's been so, the gifts I've gotten after the show and the gift of the audience. And the one thing about the Pink Hulk, it's not something where I'm like, I'm going to tell you how to live your life and this is an example and it's me. It's not. I am inspired by the audience. It is a conversation, and then when I was saying, it's a 75-minute show with different characters, and I play my mom, Rhoda, and my dad and my
Is that your mother's name?
Rhoda, yes.
Rhoda.
Yes, right. Like Valerie Harper.
Rhoda Morgenstern.
Yeah,
right.
so it's like Valerie and Rhoda connection. And then I got this beautiful gift from Maris Heller, and who directs the show too. And she gave this to me, and I put this on stage with me. I have a table, and I put this beautiful handmade quilt that she got for me after the show. I've gotten pink sunglasses. When I was in Gothenburg, this woman came up to me after the show, and she said she took sunglasses from her purse, and she's like, I want you to have these. I had a cousin who died of cancer, and now I use them in the show, because the opening of the show is when I'm in Aruba, which is where I had mentioned that I was suspicious of a lump there.
Yeah.
And then someone who had passed away from Orlando, she was a woman that was going through cancer, and she took the bracelet off of her wrist and said, I want you to have this. Someone put a ring, took the ring off their finger, like a breast cancer ring. I want you to have this ring. And I treasure these gifts, and a lot of them are in the show, and a lot of them that I wear all the time in the show, and they've become part of the set and part of the Pink Hulk and part of me that I'm so, so grateful for. And I think too that, we were talking about, it's not just about cancer. And I remember at one of the shows, there was a woman who came up to me afterwards, and she was crying. And she said, I have MS. And I thought I would never be able to bike again because I used to cycle all the time. But seeing your show makes me know that I can bike again.
Right.
So it's really been an amazing,
inspiring in ways
journey.
that go beyond just the topic of cancer, inspiring for anybody going through literally anything in life, especially like everything we've been dealing with in this last year, huh?
Exactly. And exactly. And even though I'm the Pink Hulk being in person, I've not stopped performing. In fact, I'm very honored, and I wanted to give a shout out to the Wham Festival that Goddard is doing this year. It's the Wham Women's History Artists Month, and it's being virtual first time, because we ended up having to not be able to do it last year. Only the shows, it started March 1st, but only the shows up until March 12th were shown. And I was on the 21st last year, and I'm doing it this year. And it's my third one there. Thank you. And you can go to goddard.org. It's going to be Saturday, March 20th.
Is that GODDARD.org?
And if you go to that website, it's a celebration, because we know that March is Women's, History Month, Women's Month of the Power of the Woman is March. And there's so many, there's plays, there's singers, actors. So it's a whole month-long festival. And I'm going to be improv. My improv group Cherub is performing March 6th. I'll be a part of. And then March 20th is the show that from 7 to 8:30. And I'll be doing excerpts from the show, and then having a talk back with the audience and a Q&A. And I've been doing that all through the pandemic. I virtually did the show with the UK's Ludlow Fringe. I did it, the Marsh Stream in San Francisco. I did the Reykjavik Fringe Festival virtually. So I have not stopped, and I've been doing workshops with cancer organizations such as Breast Friends in Oregon, and Gilda's Club right here in New York, and the Stowe Weekend of Hope in Vermont is another cancer weekend to help patients and survivors. So throughout the pandemic, I've not stopped. And I'm part of Broadway Hearts, which is the Broadway community where every week we do virtual visits with children's hospitals and sing songs. And we also do videos. And we just recently did The Weller Man. a big TikTok sensation. So we did our version of the Wellerman. I love to sing. My background is in musical theater. And I am the bass of the group. They're all Christines from Bantam. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, no, the mellow, and they're all that have the high voice. So I call myself the caboose. I'm the one with the bass voice, and so and I love them dearly. They're just such a phenomenal group, and we had a Hamilton bingo on President's Day, and we all did the Hamilton bingo with the kids, and I dressed up as the Queen to King George, and did a little snippet of "You'll Be Back," and we had actual cast members from Hamilton, and it was wonderful. And they were founded by the cast members of Phantom, Elizabeth Satomi and Jessica, and it's been a wonderful experience. So, I'm doing as much as I can to bring hope, not, with Hulk and with other activities such as Broadway Hearts. And I'm part of Solo Arts Heal, which is a group, collective of solo show artists who perform their shows. One that has a smoke addiction, someone who had a stroke, someone who has a adoption show. Like, they're all different types of shows where it's not just about health, it's all types of adversities that that's about a care
people are dealing with.
The solo show about being the caregiver to someone who is ill.
We have some more clips here, so I want to definitely show people so they can get a good sense of some of the work. What we'll do is we'll show the clip, and then we can chat about it after we show it. So we'll sort of surprise everybody. Here's one of the clips right here from the Pink Hulk, everybody, and enjoy. It's quite amazing.
Thank you.
My cancer is my sleeping beauty, and I intend to have her sleep for a very, very, very long time. My cancer is dormant, no trace of it. And my superhero is reactivated. And let me say again, no evidence of disease. And so for all of you out there, you have a superhero inside you too. And I'd like to say from the bottom of my heart and my bones, particularly these, never, ever, ever give up.
Here's the cape. Hello?
Yeah, show us the cape.
This is the actual cape that I was wearing in the show. And this was also a gift. I had performed for Rhode Island College for the nursing department. And that's the other thing with the Pink Hulk that's been very special, is that I did it for the nursing department as sensitivity training.
Oh, that's nice.
And one of the nurses came up to me and said, I think I'm going to be a better nurse now, hearing the patient side and the perspective side, because I told a lot of stories and not all of them, are positive within the Pink Hulk, and the healthcare industry needs to know that and need to learn from the patient. And so I was very proud. So they had a superhero party. Kathy Bacon wore this cape, and then she gave it to me, and I loved it. And then I ended up not knowing, Jim, that I was going to use it, because this was the cape when I was diagnosed again for a second time. And I told the audience that, I'm going to reactivate that superhero inside me, and I'm going to fight. And then the third ending where where I have the cape again, and in that clip that you saw, where it's the cape that says "Never ever give up hope."
Right.
And so this cape was very special, but it was never intended to be used in the show, because when I did the show in Rhode Island College, I was a 2-time cancer survivor. And then when I became a 3rd-time cancer survivor and being diagnosed with stage 4, this cape became an integral part of the show.
It brings, I'm sure, great warmth and comfort to you, as well as it envelops you. It's a beautiful thing to have. We have a clip, another clip from the Pink Hulk, and this is the bike race sequence, which you were mentioning earlier. Let's take a look at that.
And then I descend down the last half of the bridge, pedaling faster and faster, wind on my face. I take a sharp right turn and I exit the bridge, and I can see the finish line. I can see the end of this. And then I round that last corner, whizzing past the other cyclists with all my might. Get the fuck out of my way. And then I cross the finish line. I just finished treatment for breast cancer 2 months ago. I just finished treatment 2 months ago. I beat you, cancer. I did it. I won.
It's very powerful and very, very moving.
And you could see the quilts from there. Yes, thank you.
We also have the hair ritual. Tell us about that one.
Yes, this is a really special, and after the clip, I'll show you the actual hair. So this is something else that I wanted to tell people out there, how you can make a negative into a positive.
Lemon into lemonade.
And so what happened was, when I got cancer the first time, my hair started falling out. And again, it was so traumatic. And I remember waking up in the morning and there'd be hair everywhere. And I would, scratch my head and like a clump of it. And it was really traumatic. And so during treatment is when I ended up, getting my head shaved. This second time, and that was with lymphoma. And then with breast cancer, when I knew I had to get chemo again, and I knew that I was going to have my hair fall out again, I decided to make a birthday party out of it. So on my birthday, I got all my friends together and we went to a hair salon, Dramatics, and my beautician, and this is part of the show, put all my hair in like Daisy Duke-like ponytails that were all sticking out. And each friend had come up and cut a lock of my hair. And this is before I started treatment, because I knew I didn't want to have what happened again, watching the hair fall out and getting worse and worse. So this time I said, I'm going to take the bull by the horns and I'm going to shave it before it comes out, because it's on my terms. So each friend cut off a lock of hair, and they kept that lock of hair. And then a year later, after that party, and I had my head shaved, I had another birthday party, and my friends brought the locks of hair back from when I shaved a year later to shave my hair. And I used those actual locks of hair in my show. And it was really special because it was, I had champagne. Everyone had champagne at the hair salon. I had a cake at the hair salon. Everybody, including all the other hairdressers and the customers, we all had cake. And then we went to a bar afterwards. Party on, Wayne, party on, Garth. Then we went to
Wayne's World.
The Wayne's World. I know we're in this Wayne's World, in this virtual world. And so
Valerie's vault.
yeah, it's like Valerie's vault. And so we went, then we continued the party and we went to the Parlor Cafe on 86th Street and we had another party and another cake. So if the friends could come to both, and other friends joined in later who couldn't come to the hair ceremony at, and I call it the ceremony, at the hair salon. And then we had another party then. And it made it so special. And to share that experience with all of my friends made that, lemon into lemonade.
Lemonade. Absolutely. Yeah. Here you go, folks. The hair ritual from The Pink Hulk, the wonderful play as created by Valerie David, our guest on the Jim Masters Show Live. Very positive, hopeful, and inspiring and creative episode of our series tonight. Hope you're enjoying, everybody.
Thanks.
I was born on November 13th. And don't let anyone tell you that 13 is unlucky, because it's my birthday. So I plan a head-shaving birthday party after my first treatment. And my salon, Dramatics, hosts the festivities. And with 7 friends in tow, I also have a delicious Oreo cake and a bottle of champagne. Everybody is treated to a swig and a slice. It is joyous now. My beautician, Savannah, puts my shoulder-length locks in Daisy Duke-like ponytails. And each friend comes up and cuts off a lock while telling me a wish they have for me. And then the hair trimmer exalts a mighty roar, and the rest of the hair falls to the ground, and it is triumphant because I say when it goes. And I have a sexy buzz cut now, and I time it just right. 48 hours later, I get that same burning sensation, and my birthday buzz cut begins to disappear within a week. 1 year later, I have a birthday party. And my friends bring back the locks of hair to celebrate the regrowth on my head.
Very powerful stuff. Very powerful. And there it is there.
Yes, this is the lock of hair that had been on my head, and there were 9 of them, and each friend cut the lock, and then they kept it, brought it back, and then this is used in my show. So it's almost the same color. Yeah, it's almost the same color. And it was so special. And, and then I wanted to also say something funny. Those of you, and first off, I want to thank the wonderful comments and how the beautiful comments. And I thank you, Lovities, and I'm a Lovity too with you. So I'm a Lovity. So this was wonderful. And I actually have more clips, but I use this particular hair clip for the show, and it's very special to me. And then the other thing I wanted to mention, because we have to have humor. So the yellow towel that was on the beach chair that you saw in the background, that's my grandmother's towel, set of towel. And the funny story, and then you saw the beach chair. So the funny thing about the beach chair, when I did the show off Broadway in October of 2019, I had that beach chair. So many wonderful dessert places had donated cupcakes and cookies, and Dunkin' Donuts, and also the donut pub. They all donated donuts and cupcakes for the whole week's run. So I ate them. And that's my grandmother's towel. Yes, that Jim just flashed. So it's very special to have that on stage with me, part of my grandmother with me, and that beach chair. So I was eating cupcakes and donuts every single day. And when during a performance, right before I started, actually, I sat in the beach chair, which is where I open up the show, and the beach chair broke. And I am sure, as I'm sitting here, that it is from the donuts, the cookies, and the cupcakes that I ate all week. And it was the last show. So
did people go, oh,
no,
or did they laugh?
Yeah, no, they didn't hear, but I heard like it was like, it was like this, you couldn't hear it break, but it was like this sudden jerk and of emotion. And I was like, yeah. I just broke the beach chair.
Kind of like when pants split.
Exactly. Oh, wait, yeah.
You hear it.
So here is the new beach chair I haven't used yet. I bought it over the summer for when we're back all in the theater again. So I have this new beach chair that's a lot sturdier, I made sure, than the last one. So it will withstand donuts, cookies, and cupcakes. And so I can't wait to use this new beach chair. It still has the packaging on it. So I don't want it to collect cobwebs. I want to get back into that theater when it's safe to
do it. Like they say, you should always invest in yourself, right?
Yes.
So that chair is an investment.
It is an investment. Bed Bath & Beyond with a 20% coupon.
20% coupon. Yeah.
Exactly.
I used to host a shopping show, like a home shopping network type show for years, and so deals are deals.
Deals are deals. That's right.
This is another one from the Pink Hulk. Looking at myself. Take a look at this one here and chat about it when we come back. Enjoy. Hope you guys are enjoying. A lot of great comments coming in as we broadcast live here on the Jim Masters Show Live. If this is your first time watching the Jim Masters Show Live, we welcome you. We're all about inspiring conversations, great entertainment, amazing guests, live viewer interaction, levity, all kinds of cool stuff. Every show is something different. Every show is something unique. And you're a fan of the show too. That's what I love, is you've been watching the show and you see all these different guests, all these different themes, all these different topics, just everything that we do on the show to keep things fresh and alive. And I know you've told me that it's something you really enjoy, huh?
Yes, it's wonderful. And I thank you. You are amazing. And I also wanted to point out to everyone, the lovities out there, that something that really struck me about Jim is that he was also a TV host for the American Cancer Society, and all the wonderful things he's done. I watched his interviews, and I love Cami Coulter from the Waltons.
Yes.
Which is on like TV Land, like really late at night. So I've been watching the Waltons, and what an amazing show that was with John Boy.
George Burns.
Hi, George Burns.
George is here.
Exactly.
Yes.
So thank you for all that you do and bringing the community together. And I love the story about the lovities, that how the lovity name came about. That
and I say it's a mistake, but a lot of people say no, it wasn't a mistake.
There are no mistakes.
To happen.
Meant to happen.
Kind of like Bob Ross, the painter, always said, "There's only happy accidents."
Exactly. So it was wonderful. And thank you for all you do in interviewing people, musicians and people from the wellness community. I mean, I'm calling you a Renaissance man, because you do everything with, television and radio, and just the commercials you've been on, and all the wonderful things that you do, and seeing the interviews. It's amazing.
I appreciate that. I
Thank you.
appreciate that. A couple of people have used that expression before, Renaissance, and I like it because, yeah, I do. Tonight, you and I are wearing our hats, and some of the viewers really love when I sport this particular hat. But I do wear a lot of different hats in life and in this industry, and I enjoy it because you get a chance. That's what life's all about. You get a great taste of all the different aspects of life, and you know something about everything. So when you are playing Trivial Pursuit or you're at a cocktail party, you can basically have a conversation with anybody because you've, got your feet wet in all these different areas of life, which I think is really cool and very important, as you're doing as well. And then there's times, like a lot of people have been doing during COVID and everything we've gone through, you look at the mirror and you are looking at myself. And that's the segue to this clip. Pretty spiffy, huh?
Very spiffy.
Talk about smooth transition.
Smooth transition.
That's it. Here we go.
And I'm just looking at myself in disgust. Why the hell am I gaining so much weight? Why aren't I getting skinny from this? Where's the nausea and loss of appetite, right? That pill, Zofran, takes the nausea away. That pill is a blessing and a curse. I don't feel sick to my stomach, therefore I continue to eat with no metabolism. Losing weight is actually harder than cancer treatment. Did I just really say that? I must be Meshuggah. But it is the honest truth. I am as big as a Macy's Day Parade balloon ready to explode with frustration. And I keep working out and I keep exercising, but nothing is working. Help.
Again, every clip is, and I like the way we have the clips sectioned in different sections because it gives people like little bursts of the power of the theme, the content, the play, the vision, the mission, the story, as opposed to just running one full length clip or 20 minutes altogether, just showing them the different snippets because you really break it down into different areas and sections and topics the way you do it. And it's interesting when you're doing a one person. I mean, I've done singular hosting of shows and all kinds of different things where it's just me. So I can certainly understand and relate to that one person show thing. It really is, it's similar to like being a comedian as well, who has to go out there and you've got everybody there and they're looking at you and they want to be entertained. They want to be informed. They want their load lightened. So it's not always as easy as it seems to be a one-man show, one-woman show, going out there to do it. It takes a lot of strength and resilience because you got to keep it going. You got to keep it flowing. You got to make sure you hit upon all the things that you've rehearsed and you've practiced. And then sometimes I'm sure there's times when, something goes wrong on set, something breaks, or there's something that happens in the audience and you react to it or you play along with it and it's very responsive. And that's a skill to be able to do that, in a one woman show like that. Do you feel the power? I would imagine, I probably already know the answer to this. You feel the power of the audience when they're watching, not only that they want to be entertained, they want to leave feeling as if they are connected with you and with your story, because everybody's sitting in the audience and watching now, live or later in the archives. We all have our stories, and whether it's something that's impacting us right now or will or has, or others that we care about, loved ones, friends, colleagues, we all are touched by all these different things that you speak to. Maybe it's not necessarily lymphoma or things of that nature, but other things in life. So there's a hopeful message in this play, and I bet you get that feedback from people once they've seen it, right? It isn't all depressing and sad. It's showing, here's somebody who went through it not once, not twice, 3 times, and I'm standing on a chair, talking to you, and here I am. And if with a positive attitude, I mean, mind over matter is huge. If you know somebody, so many people, and I've seen it happen, where as soon as they get a cancer diagnosis, their spirit is shot. Their humor's gone, their spirit's shot. They fold up the tent and they wait till the inevitable. And that depressive way, the sadness, the feeling of loss already before any loss even may or may not occur, can really affect the mind, body, and spirit, especially the body. I mean, your body reacts to the food you put in it, as well as, the feelings and emotions that you express. And if you're not doing what you did, like, I'll be damned if this is going to happen to me now. And then again, you could have the second time you could have said, all right, I guess this was meant to be. I'm getting it again. Third time you said, okay, well, obviously I'm getting a message from somewhere that my time's up. But you said no. And I think each time made you even stronger, which is a beautiful message for others out there who might be struggling with something currently, or knows somebody, a loved one that is.
Right, because when I was diagnosed with stage 4, a friend of mine said, "What's after stage 4?"
4 is 4.
4 is 4. There's nothing after stage 4, and that was by far the scariest diagnosis, and also because it spread to the bones. So it was which I was just like,
we lost an aunt to that. Went from breast to bone, and that was that at 69. So it's an early, and so I mean, you are,
and that's why never to give up hope, because this
wasn't your time.
Basically,
you had a message.
I wasn't ready. Yeah, I wasn't ready. But this is years ago, and thank goodness for the medical breakthroughs. This was a death sentence before the advent of all these new medications. And I'm so grateful for the medical industry that keeps coming through, immunotherapy, when you're, I'm on a CDK4 inhibitor, there's a PDL inhibitors, like there's targeted therapies now where I'm not on chemo, I'm not on
15
radiation.
years ago, they didn't even have any of that.
No. And so for me, and I do feel blessed and grateful that less than 3% have a 100% response. So when I got on this medication, I thought, I'll probably get better, but I didn't know that on the scans, there'd be no trace of the cancer. And that blew me away. And I remember getting a phone call, actually it was, I remember, because I was at, I remember it was an email, and I looked at my portal and the message said, "There's nothing that's showing." And I was like, what? And I was, what? And I remember like walking outside and calling my mom, just like, it's not showing that it had 100% response, and how grateful I am for that. And I think too that, there's so much going on in the world that, the one thing we can't lose is hope. And I also don't want to sugarcoat, this wasn't always like the pink Hulk, la, 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 everything is great and wonderful. It wasn't. And there were a lot of hard times, and there's still, I still I don't get worried that every time I get a scan or I'm seeing a follow-up appointment, there's always fear. I'm always going to be getting checked. I'm going to live with this for the rest of my life. But cancer doesn't define me. I define me. And that's what's really important, no matter what kind of anything that you're going through. I mean, I remember, two of my friends said, I saw your show and I'm not happy with my job and I'm going to change it. And they both started their own businesses. You don't know what far-reaching effect you have in the biggest of ways and in the smallest of ways. And I think that, irony, and that was like coming to terms with my body and what was happening with cancer. Who knew that twice when I was on chemo, I gained 30 pounds each time. I was like, and I always, the running joke is like, I never get a break with weight loss. And that was part of the funny thing with the show, even with that. And I even remember when I had a tonsillectomy in high school, and I was like, oh, I'm going to lose weight. I'm not going to be able to eat. I remember my poor friend Donnie had a tonsillectomy a few months before I did. And I was coming over to visit him, and he was going back to the doctor. I passed by his car because he was having so much trouble with his. The next day with my tonsillectomy, I was eating nacho chips, with salsa. And I was like, so the running joke is that, I can't even get when I even getting cancer, I can't lose weight. What's what's going on here? But it's more than that. It's about accepting who you are and your body and your physicality. And no matter what weight I'm at or what weight someone's is, you're beautiful inside and outside, and the physical doesn't define who you are. You define who you are.
Exactly.
And the other thing with the show too is that, the comedy in it is that I did improv. I've done improv all my life. And even when I was under treatment with chemotherapy, I was still performing with my improv troupe, Cherub. And that's the group that's going to be at the Wham Festival on March 6th that I'll also be performing in. And we would go to the American Cancer Society, the Hope Lodge there on 32nd Street. And it was so gratifying to do improv while I was in treatment in front of cancer patients. Yeah. And I didn't have hair, so I would just put on a scarf and do the improv. And sometimes I didn't feel well enough to do an improv show. It's like, oh, I just had chemo. Maybe I better not do an improv show. And but I kept performing even when I was in treatment. And even when in one story, and my mom will never, ever let this one down. I had a lumpectomy on a Friday, and I had an audition for a film on Sunday.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm going to go on the audition. And Mom's like, no, you're not.
No, you're
and
not.
I said, yes, I am. So she's like, so we had this big argument. She's like, you just had surgery. You are not going on this audition, because I'm all bandaged and stitched and, stitches. And my mom said, all right, if you go on this audition, I'm going with you. Right. So my mom went with me, and thank God she did, because I did the audition, and I remember I couldn't move, my arm, and I was like, oh, hi, with and I did the audition, but afterwards I was exhausted, and I was like ready to drop. And it was amazing to have my mom carry me, literally, not figuratively, I should say, not literally, but just to know that I was so tired, and she was there to lift me up.
Great strength
from this great strength she gave me as well.
And strength. Exactly.
And I think that the strength that comes from my family is that, and I mentioned this earlier, in 1941, my family fled Iraq and from religious persecution during an uprising against the Jews called the Farhud, and it's Farhud, and you can see that on the it's a documented occurrence. And they fled from that day, that night, with what they could carry, and left everything behind and fled to India. So that's a story of survival, and that's going on today. We need to have tolerance and love in the world, and we need to accept people for their religion, for their gender, for their sexual preference. I mean, we need to have the tolerance. And so they escaped with what they could carry, and knowing that strength is part of my family, that they're a family of survivors, that it inspired me to survive. And my grandmother on my father's side, the one with the yellow towels on my mother's side, and my grandmother on my father's side in the 50s had lymphoma, and they didn't even have chemo back then. They only had radiation. And at the hospital on Long Island, she was the only person that survived with the radiation. And that was in the 50s. And so
back in the 50s, right?
Back in the 50s. So I say to myself, look at my family, and I'm so proud of them and all the hardships that they went through. And my father at 8 years old, when he was separated from his father, because my aunt and my grandmother and my father had fled, and then my grandfather joined them later, but they weren't sure that my grandfather was going to join them. And at, 8 years old, he said to my father, "You're the man of the house now." And imagine how scared
8 years old.
8 years old, how scared my father was as a little boy like that. So if he can do that, and my grandmother, my dad was the man of the house until my grandfather reunited with them in India, and my grandmother, Renee, who survived her cancer with just radiation, I can too, because of their strength and conviction, and that really inspired me to keep going.
And this is what you're telling others. Yeah. This
right,
is
right.
You're telling others. Absolutely.
Right. And so it's really important to know that we can be our own superheroes. And I did find the sunglasses, by the way, from
you got the pink ones, huh?
Yeah, I got the pink ones. Also, these are now in the show during Aruba that I will be in my new beach chair looking up at the sun on stage. So
will you have some pink lemonade with you as well?
I will. I do have a drink, actually.
People tuning in now, they're like, what's with all the pink? We're talking about the Pink Hulk. This wonderful play, and it's extraordinary. Valerie David is the creator.
Yeah, thank you. And
one woman play. We have another clip here too as well. Let's take a look at this clip, and then we can come back and we'll talk about this one as well. Here's another one for everybody to enjoy. All samples of this incredible play, the one woman show, The Pink Hulk.
How appropriate with my food fetish. I didn't know any of these people. We all auditioned individually, and then we were put in this group. And I so wanted to be in the Cronuts and not let cancer stop me. So I remember meeting the Cronuts for the first time. Hi, my name is Valerie, and I just got diagnosed with breast cancer, and I really would like to be in this group. I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, and there'll be physical changes in my... Do you still want me in this group? And then they all come rushing at me, embracing me with hugs. Of course we want you in this group. We love you. We are here for you. And here I am in this football huddle of this amazing new support team. And whenever I felt well enough, I was either practicing or performing with the Cronuts at the People's Improv Theater. And I was even performing for cancer patients at the American Cancer Society's Hope Lodge with another group called Cherub. Yes.
Really special, really special. We have some behind the scenes photos too. Maybe you can tell us about some of these. These are really cool.
Sure. And I first wanted to do a shout out to thank for Baron Barst Media that did these clips, and also to Rich Adler of RPM Media. They have been wonderful videographers, so I want to acknowledge them and thank them. Yes, and have put clips together.
Nice job. Yeah.
Oh, this was a very special day. I was interviewed by Cure today, Cure magazine, and was featured in Heal, and was so grateful to them. And we were I went out to New Jersey to their headquarters and had a wonderful interview. And it was an incredible experience. And so I was very grateful to have been interviewed, and I was in the fall issue of Heal magazine with that. And I thanked the interviewers, and we were doing behind the scenes, and they did some filming of some of the clips. And then this was very special when it was off Broadway last year. I always have talkbacks after the show, and I was so grateful to all of the talk show guests that I had, and the person, they're all so special, Sarah Ann and Dr. Kevin Kalinske, and Melissa was the moderator, and she's also a breast cancer survivor, and Sarah Ann is also a breast cancer survivor. And then Dr. Kalinske was my oncologist. He since has moved to Atlanta, but I'm still in touch with him. And we had this wonderful talk back after the show, and we talked about wellness and the progress in cancer. So it's a very, very special evening with these wonderful talkback guests that I had.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. So I was really grateful. And then this was from Lauren Adler taking a picture of the show. And this, I actually have the wig in my show, and that's the wig that I actually wore during the treatment when I had cancer the second time. And it was from the hair studio, and it was wonderful, and they helped me so much. And that wig I still have and use in the show. And I thank Anthony, who owns the hair salon on 62nd Street. And there's Sarah Ann and she has a wonderful organization called Comedy Cures. And she was one of the first people that I talked to when I had breast cancer, because she, again, is also a breast cancer survivor. And you could look up Comedy Cures. She's wonderful. And then Melissa had In Kind. That's her breast cancer organization, the woman that from the other picture who was the moderator. And that was right after the show. So they're very special. And then this was a very, very special show. All the shows have been special. This one was particularly noteworthy because this was in Virginia Beach at the Z Theater, Zyder's American Theater, and Sibel Galendez had me come, and this was through my drama teacher Nancy Curtis in Virginia Beach, and this was a theater that I did the show in. And what made this special was this was the first performance where I was when I got cancer the third time. This was the first time that I revealed to the audience that I had cancer again. And my sister from Seattle flew out, and my parents were there, and my other sister, Jennifer, from Maryland, and no one in the audience. All my high school friends were there, and friends from Virginia Beach. And and speaking of which, when you were talking about the one woman show and how much energy, I did 2 shows that day. So it's doubly hard to do 2 shows. It takes a lot. So I did 2 shows that day, and the theater was wonderful, and they wanted to come up with something really special when I revealed to the audience that I was battling cancer a third time. And they created this giant, I guess the best analogy would be Glenda the Good Witch, the bubble from the Wizard of Oz, that when Glenda arrived, it would get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and she would pop out. So they thought at the end, they designed this lighting design that while I was talking, after I did the last line of the first version was, my color is bright pink. And then I said to the audience, I have cancer again. And while I was talking, the pink bubble kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger while I talked. And then when I said, stay tuned at the very end, like stay tuned for the next installment of the Pink Hulk, which ended up being that the cancer is not being shown, there was this incredible smoke machine, and it just went whoosh, and then it was blackout. So you had this giant bubble, and then the smoke machine, and it was just, and people were like their mouths dropped open, because I had kept it to myself until I was ready to put it in the Pink Hulk. And I thank Cynthia Adler, who helped with the second ending, because I was afraid to tell people. I'm like, here I am, I'm the Pink Hulk, I'm supposed to be inspirational, and I have cancer again. How am I going to reveal that to the audience? And I remember Cynthia saying to me, Valerie, you're the Pink Hulk, right? And I said, yes. She goes, well, the Pink Hulk would tell people, and you're not the Pink Hulk if you don't be honest and you don't come forth with this. Because I was afraid that it would upset people and scare people, and they'd be like, this isn't the Pink Hulk, you know, what happened to her? But it ended up, and she's like, you're not the Pink Hulk if you don't Hulk out on the second cancer in the show. You know, I was fighting behind the scenes, but to publicly say, I have cancer, it's come back again. And then that ending was like, you know, the Pink Hulk exists, the Pink Hulk persists, stay tuned. And it was like this, you know, I am woman, hear me roar. And it inspired me, and people were crying. They were like, oh my God, I didn't know, you know. And I was like, don't cry, because I'm gonna fight it and I'm gonna beat it. And so it was really an amazing experience, having that American Z Theater to reveal that cancer in my hometown with all my friends and my drama teacher and my family, you know, all there.
Did you hesitate at all sharing your story with the public in the beginning?
At the very, very beginning of the Pink Hulk? Yes, because I didn't.
Even the beginning of your dealing with it yourself before the Pink Hulk even was created.
Oh, yes, because I didn't want people to look at me like, you know, the scarlet letter A, you know, from the, you know, scarlet letter. I didn't want the pink letter C. And I didn't want people to think there's the cancer girl. I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I don't want this to be a pity party. And that's the thing with the Pink Hulk. The show is not why me, you know, it's not, oh no, me, you know, a Downer, you know, Debbie Downer, wah, wah, you know, from Saturday Night Live. It's not, I didn't want people to look at me differently because I had cancer once. I didn't want them to look differently at me because I had cancer twice. I didn't want people to look at me differently because I had cancer a third time. And I think that was probably the hardest part, is to publicly say that, because I was worried about people's perception. And when you asked me earlier, what did you learn from all this? You can't worry about people's perception. You have to be concerned about you and not what people think. And I think that was also a lesson, because, you know, you can't judge. I didn't want to be judged, but now I look at it and I go, why did I ever fear talking about it? Right. Because it's who I am, and it's who I'm always going to be. And it's a part of my life, and it always will be. And I didn't want to be fearful. Instead, I wanted to help inspire. And I think that was the main thing. Like, I didn't want, you know, people to look at me differently because of the stigma of, you know, was it the movie Dave, where they're like, oh, did you hear, you know, cousin Jean has cancer, as if it were
The C
a
word.
dirty word, right? As if it were a dirty word, and it's not. And nobody should feel less than for anything that they're going through in their life, or judged for what they're going through in their life. And I think that was a really valuable lesson.
What do you see as the continued future for the production and the project, Valerie?
Well, I will tell you, I don't want a fourth ending. I'm going to keep it as is.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, third time's a charm. Right, exactly. And that's actually, oh my gosh, Jim, that's actually one of the lines.
Of course. I'm very intuitive.
Jim's World, Jim's World. Yeah, I'm watching you. That's actually one of the lines where I was like, well, third time's the charm. When I did it in the pink bubble that you saw. But I think what I see for the future is not any more changes. I want to keep going with it, and maybe do that movie or that book. And thank you for those suggestions from the Lovities out there. But to keep going, and we're in really challenging times right now. And I think the Pink Hulk's message of hope and empowerment is even more important. And that's why I've got shows lined up. And, I haven't announced it yet, but there's stuff happening after March 20th with the show that I want to keep going, because, life can be a lot of lemons. And I want to keep making lemonade for other people, and to keep inspiring them, and to keep doing the show, and continue to grow as a person, as an actor, and to keep inspiring me, the audience. And I can tell you right now, Jim, when I was doing the show, not knowing what the future was going to be with Stage IV, the audience helped me survive. Doing the Pink Hulk, my own show, gave me strength to keep going, which wasn't the intention, right? The intention was to inspire the audience.
Mm-hmm.
But my own show was helping me go through cancer a third time when I didn't know what was going to happen next.
Isn't that not amazing when that happens, and how you couldn't have predicted that?
No.
Feeding off the energy of others and then giving it back, something I talk about that I like to do, personally and professionally in my life. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think that's something that we all need to pay heed to, more kindness and empathy and compassion. I'm hoping I've said it a million times on this series and elsewhere, I'm hoping we rise from the ashes of everything that we've been going through the last year, kinder, more empathetic. We listen more as opposed to talking at each other all the time. We listen more. We welcome everybody to the table. We enjoy and savor every moment, because every moment, is fleeting and flickering and is a gift. And we share more empathy with one another, because kindness sometimes, now more than ever, friendliness, good people, kindness is sometimes seen as a weakness. Oh, the good person, the kind person, the friendly person is the weak person. You got to show no emotion. You're just going to plow through and leave skeletons. I've never believed that. I think the people who are truly male, female, any age, doesn't matter. The people that tend to be the kinder, the maybe friendlier, the more empathetic to the needs of the world and others are really the ones that carry the weight of the world on them. They're the ones who really, take on the burdens, take on the troubles, because they're trying to help other people through it, just like you're doing. Mm-hmm. And I tend to do a lot of my work as well, inspiring other people, lifting them up. For you, I know for me, it's a natural thing. It's not put on, it's not staged, it's not rehearsed. It's not because the TV lights are on. Okay, let's be Mr. Inspirational, Mr. Lovity type thing. It's inbred. It's what I've learned from my family, my parents, my family, very similar types. Mm-hmm. It's the way I operate. And I think you go a lot further, living that way than just always combating everybody and arguing and yelling and challenging all the time. And you're that way too. Obviously, for you to be able to do this and have the strength and resilience to be able to go out there on stage and share your personal story, which isn't, no matter how inspiring it could be, still some people would go all the way up to the point of, yes, it's so inspiring, it can help others, but I'm not going to be the one that's going to do it because that's putting the camera lens on me. So a lot of people wouldn't be able to have the strength, the fortitude to get past the fear to do what you do, going out there every day and pounding that pavement on stage and not just telling the story, but the raw emotion. And then the gasps and oohs and ahs and laughter of the audience. It's something that's inbred in you. It's something that this situation with the cancer triggered you coming out in a way to the public that is super connecting with them in probably a much more deeper way than you could have, even if you just wrote a quick script about another storyline with actors and actresses, because it's your personal story, it's your journey you're sharing with others. It's probably this is your life's work.
Right. And talking about lemons and lemonade, the other thing was that I wanted to mention, this was my actual radiation wedge, where I would get radiation with the wedge, and it would cover and protect the areas that didn't need to be radiated, but where the cancer was. And I didn't know I was doing this show, and I got everybody to sign it, when I was finished, as like when we were in camp, and at the end of camp, we would have those autograph books and everybody would sign it. It was so great summer. What great sleepaway camp. And I kind of did this, and I actually use this in the show. And, what Jim was mentioning earlier, that I take people through my journey and live it again. And so, I don't have a clip of it because it's one thing that I wanted people to see in person than seeing a clip of it, is I reenact what it was like to be in the radiation room. And that was the hardest part of the treatment, because with chemo, you have your friends with you, but when you're in the radiation room, it's like Silkwood, that movie. And, you have to be isolated, and this giant door with like radiation across it, and do not enter. It's this giant metal door, and it slams shut, and you're by yourself getting
something
the radiation.
You see on TV or a scary movie, or
and that's part of where the Hulk came from, because in that room there are green beams of light all over the room, and the Hulk was born out of a radiation gamma rays accident, and the Hulk became the Hulk because of the scientific mishap. And that same thing, I was in a radiation room with green gamma rays, and it was so lonely, and it was so hard. And that was the one time you couldn't have anybody in there, obviously, with you. And that's where I started getting a lot of the strength, and thinking of the Green Hulk, and thinking of, my dear high school friend. And that is also was inspiring me, being in that room, thinking about the Green Hulk story. So it's really been an amazing journey, and that's part of the show, is I take people into the radiation room, and people have said it's made them uncomfortable. And, theater isn't here to be nice all the time. We need to hear the truth and hear the stories, and be truthful. And I think that's part of why the Pink Hulk is really relating to people, because it's honest and brutal and frank. And it was interesting, when you were talking about like holding up a mirror, I did the show, and Pauline brought me to Indiana and the Indy Fringe Festival. And one of the people in the festival, her daughter had recently passed away from breast cancer. And I was a little afraid for her to see the show, and she was a little afraid to come see the show.
To come see it, yeah.
And then she did come see the show, and I remember I could see her in the audience, and I kept thinking, oh, you know, like, ooh. And she came up to me after the show, and she said, you know, I really wasn't sure I wanted to see it, but I'm glad I did, because I needed to know that somebody's daughter survived.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave her some consolation, you know, that
Right.
this, yeah. And it was an amazing experience with her to have her see the show.
Because our society tends to sometimes dwell on the negative, the losses,
Right.
and not the survival as much.
Right.
And I think you're showing that there is hope, and there are people who survive things in life. And then, of course, it's what you do with it going forward. That makes a world of difference, like you're doing.
Right. And the pioneers of cancer patients that passed away to help people survive it today, that I'm here because somebody was in a clinical trial, and somebody, you know, risked their life, and, you know, people, you know, we are here today, you know, why we are grateful to the patients and survivors and those that didn't make it, because they helped everyone today. That's why the survivorship rates have gone up.
Right.
Right. That people are living longer. You know, I feel like I'll probably get hit by an MTA bus, you know, before cancer gets me. You know.
Now, can you, having had it, can you take the vaccine? Are you able?
Yes, I'm up. My group's up, so I wanted. Yeah, I will.
The COVID vaccine. Yeah.
Yeah, the COVID vaccine. I'm up. So I'm planning to get it. But my group is up. You know, people with cancer survivors, cancer patients are up for it. I can't speak for cancer patients if they're in treatment. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But I know that because of where I'm at now in this stage, I'm eligible for the vaccine.
Now, of course, we've been talking, you know, throughout the evening with the theme of the Pink Hulk, one woman's journey to find the superhero within. And again, stemming originally with the thought process of the mindset of the Green Hulk. And I think that's very, very cool, because we've always, when we hear Hulk, we always think of the Incredible Hulk. We think of the Green Hulk. And you're sort of, with the Pink Hulk, enveloping this positivity and this inspiration and love and comfort and empathy with others.
Right.
And it's almost like literally reaching out to the best of your ability and touching each person. And I had that happen once, not that long ago, but it happened to be with the Green Hulk.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love that photo. That is great. Where is that?
That's actually Madame Tussauds.
Oh my goodness.
And that's the Incredible Hulk, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, yeah.
Exactly. And so where the Hulk...
Talk about reach out and touch someone.
Exactly.
Huh?
And you see the Green Hulk. Oh, he's embracing you.
And I'm sort of embracing him.
Exactly. Yeah. Your buddies. It's a selfie.
He's on my side.
Selfie. He's on your side. And that's the thing where, you know, the character of the Hulk, when he gets angry, that's when he is the magic, where he smashes things to help
and
people.
It's kind of like he was making the approach, but then I put my hand up
and
said, you know what? I don't think I'll squeeze.
Oh my goodness. And I love the shorts, you know, that were originally the pants that fit him when he didn't Hulk out. I love that picture.
Yeah.
And that's at Madame Tussauds. Is that in the city, or
that's in Manhattan? Yeah.
In Manhattan. Oh my gosh. I love that photo.
Cool, right? I said, you know, that'd be so perfect for tonight's conversation.
Definitely. You both are so photogenic, by the way. You know, and that's what I love the superhero theme, because, and I wore this tonight. It's my Wonder Woman locket. here's my Wonder Woman locket. I'm a big superhero, fan, Marvel, DC. And, I love superheroes because they became superheroes because of tragedy, right? So Batman lost his parents, saw them being killed, and he became Batman. Wonder Woman that lost her home, the Paradise Island, and she became who she is from stemming out of adversity. You look at all, the Hulk had the mishap in the laboratory with the green gamma rays, and he became the Hulk. There's so many superhero stories where they've come, Spider-Man got bit by a spider and became Spider-Man. And Captain America and, all the different superheroes, they, out of mud comes the lotus flower. That's the theme of the superheroes. Out of the mud of their lives, Superman lost, the planet, Krypton and kryptonite, and he lost his home and had to travel to America, in his little spaceship, and was found by his adopted parents. So he lost his home and his real parents. So I feel like, from having cancer 3 times, it made me who I am today and gave me so much strength that I'm grateful. And you'll hear a lot of people say, and it sounds so cliche, but it's really the truth, that going through cancer has made somebody a stronger person, a better person. We talked about empathy, a more empathetic person. And just, seeing things from the other side. One of the audience members came up to me, a husband of a wife who had gone through cancer, and said, I didn't know what my wife was going through, but seeing your show taught me what my wife went through. And I understand a little bit better through your show what my wife had gone through. So it's just, it really, I've always loved superheroes, X-Men, they're all mutants.
Yeah.
And they were discriminated against because they were different, but they're all superhero powers that they use to try to help, except Magneto. He's using the power sometimes not to be good, but in the end, he pulls through. So I think that's a huge theme. And you'd asked about what the future is, and I'm asking the Lovedies out there, and anyone who's watching, if you have ideas of how I can, like the book, the movie, and if there are places that you feel that I could come with a conference or come speak somewhere. I'm doing a lot of workshops. I do improv workshops, writing workshops, all virtually. And when the virtual world goes back to the in-person world, I'm still going to be doing workshops and everything. If you have any ideas, I would love to hear it, and love to come to you, bring the Hulk out to you. And again, it's pinkhulkplay@gmail.com, and pinkhulkplay.com is the website. So I'd love to hear back from all of you out there. And I'm so appreciative and love all the comments.
Just wanted to show you some of them that have zipped through while we were chatting. They like the picture with the Hulk.
Yeah, I want a picture of that
as well.
Yeah,
Maureen, clearly by sharing your journey, you have touched countless lives and given inspiration, hope, and strength to so many. That's from Maureen. Amy says her sister just got the vaccine. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Tess LaBella, wonderful actress and comedian and voice artist, and great Lovedy here on our show. Healing. You are healing so many, Valerie. Beautifully said. Tess, Jim, you're the best person I know. Thank you, Tess. I appreciate that.
I agree with Tess too.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Kathleen says, love your hat, Valerie.
Got that on the street, on the Upper West Side where they, the vendors.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that hat
That
since.
again.
Nope. Never seen that hat.
Valerie, you take special care. And Tess says, thank you for coming on Jim's show tonight, for us to be touched by your beautiful soul, your inspiration, and your joy. God bless you always. I just want to hug you so tight right now, from Maureen. Austin Fields says, the clips are excellent. You are a great performer. Christine says, all these video clips show how incredible you are and how your show can make a difference in people's lives with never giving up, staying strong, staying positive. You and your message are powerful. I agree. Kathleen Walker in New York. Thank you, Valerie, for sharing all this with us. Very emotional listening to you. God bless you. Bernadette saying, thank you for choosing to shine your light to help others. Tesla Bella saying, you are right, superhero. So Mary was saying you're a superhero, and Tess agrees with her. Crystal Nolan saying you are truly an incredible woman, Valerie. God bless you. And I just can't find the words to tell you how very amazing you are. You have such a beautiful soul to match your beautiful smile. That's from Maureen. Bernadette said, my eyes are already puffing up from crying. Tess saying very ugly crying. We are all loving you tonight. Juanita in South Africa, where it's tomorrow already. Oh my word, ugly crying tonight. I'm not going to be able to see out of my eyes tomorrow.
I have family in South Africa, by the way.
So you do?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I hope to come visit in South Africa.
Say we got this Gothenburg, Sweden connection. Now you got the South Africa connection. It's a small, small world. What a woman, Valerie. You're a superhero. That's Mary Bishop in Florida. Tess also saying, and you are beautiful, Valerie, inside and out. Merlin in Canada. I'm so happy for you, Valerie. Kathleen saying, incredibly lucky. Linda in Florida. Thank you, Valerie, for sharing your life story with all of us. God bless you a million times. Way to go, Valerie. Really beautiful. You are incredible. Going to share your play with my sister. She is on her second battle with cancer. That's Amy, who's a wonderful poet. We read some of her poetry over the Valentine's Day, and then when we did a celebration of poetry episode. So true. Mind over matter. Absolutely. That's what we were talking about earlier. Some beautiful comments. So happy to see you, XOXO. Of course, June.
June. Thanks, June, again.
Absolutely.
And I have a poem that was published called the Coronavirus and Metastatic Cancer Poem. And it's on Open Doors NYC. And I thank them for publishing that we had a big fall work where they had kind of a virtual party for everybody whose work got published. And and you could check that out. It talks about the times and also the Pink Hulk.
So give us the website again, or the contact to learn more about the Pink Hulk and things of that nature. That'd be cool.
Sure. It's pinkhulkplay.com.
So Pink Hulk, PINKHULKPLAY.com.
And then to reach me directly, the same first words, pinkhulkplay@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and the handle is the same @Pink Hulk Play. So I'm trying to branch out with my social media. So I'm trying. It's
a lot of work, isn't it? It's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Spend all day just doing that.
And I thank those people who've helped me with social media with that. And so I'm slowly learning with Instagram too, and and getting, it's a lot, and it's important But I'm on Facebook, and you can see the Pink Hulk page and everything. So,
And Anne says, thank you, Valerie, for an inspiring evening and sharing your journey. I have a very dear friend who has been on the same journey for 16 years now. May God bless and keep you. Juanita in South Africa, thank you for a super conversation, Valerie. I knew you guys would love Valerie as my special guest tonight on the show. Yes, come visit in South Africa. Stay as amazing as you are in taking the world by energy storm. And it's all positive energy, which is really, really important. Folks watching, if you missed this episode or joined us late, or you'd like to see it again, or, share this link on our YouTube channel, right there, you can see this episode and all of our episodes 24/7, 365 on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV.
And subscribe to Jim Masters YouTube channel. And I actually have one too, the Pink Hulk YouTube channel. And definitely subscribe to Jim's channel. He is a superhero and amazing interviews. And I am grateful and lucky and honored. And thanks to June for connecting us, for me to be part of your world.
So the worlds have now merged.
They have merged.
They have now merged.
I wish I could hand off the hat to you. Here, take my hat.
We can toast. We can toast.
Yeah, we can toast.
We can toast. Still have a little of that pink lemonade with our pink themed show today.
Yes.
Pink Hulk.
Yes. Cheers. Thank you
to your health.
Thank you so much. And I love the pink lemonade.
Cool. Yeah. I realized that, you know what, we'll make everything sort of a pink theme.
Pink, right.
And the pink font colors and pink lemonade. And you got the pink hat. And
yes.
All in celebration of the Pink Hulk play and your wonderful story and mission. And I hope you enjoyed your time with me as much as I have with you. The show met whatever expectations you had as well.
Oh my gosh, exceeded my expectations. And you're just amazing and wonderful. And, for everyone out there, I thank you so much for your beautiful comments. And I'm trying not to cry because I'm so moved by the Lovities out there, and friends and family who are now Lovities viewers as well. I know that my family and friends are watching as well, and I want to thank them and for always being there for me. And we're living in incredibly difficult times, like you said, we need kindness. We need to be there for each other. And I can't agree with you more, Jim. And you're the epitome and example of kindness. And I thank you so much for having me on here. And it was just so fun going down, just like even looking at the clips going, oh, that beach chair, that was recycled. I love that beach chair, like just laughing at the funny things. And then remembering that towel that is a part of the show is from my mom's mom, and we call her Nanny. Just seeing the stage and just reminding myself of how special the set is, with the wig on there, the hair clips, and the wedge from radiation. And, I have a teddy bear that's there.
I do love this shot.
Thank you. That was from Lauren Adler. And believe it or not, that was at Tada. And I want to do a shout out to Emerging Artists Theater and Paul Adams. The very first public reading was part of their new work series. I'm a member of Emerging Artists, and it's at the Tada Theater on 28th and Broadway. And before the show, and I did it a couple of times more as a full production with Emerging Artists. And this was before the show. She was like, let's just get some still shots of you. And that was on stage. And Lauren Adler, I'm so grateful for all the photographers, but Lauren Adler took that one that you have especially pointed out. And I don't know if you can see the necklace. Someone gave me that necklace that I wear on stage all the time. And there's little slivers that say believe, creative. And I always wear that necklace on stage. And I have a bracelet that someone made out of a bike spoke that says on there, wounded but not broken. So
which is
I even the
beautiful.
jewelry that I wear
Mhm,
is part, and I thank the people who'd given me those gifts
mhm.
because they're I wear them every show. And if I feel like, oh my God, I forgot to put my necklace on, I feel like part of me is off stage. I'm like, but so it's just really been very special to have the joy and other joy I've gotten, I've incorporated into the show. So yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Please,
then and
stay
one
s
thing too, oh yeah, Jay Strong was the very first private reading that I did, and then Robin Rice also hosted a reading. So that's the thing with new material. Definitely have readings and try it out before it becomes a full
exactly.
production.
Thank you, Valerie.
Thank
Take
you.
care,
Thank you
and
so much, Jim.
sending lovely hugs your way, and loved hearing your story, Valerie. Thank you for sharing
Thank
with
you,
us.
Jim.
Good night, Mr. Lovety, Valerie, and all the Loveties. Lovety Hall gained another Lovety.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Please stay safe. Take care. I will share your info with family and friends.
Thank you.
And cool stuff, my friend. I hope we get a chance to, commiserate in person
Yes,
and break
yes,
bread once we get past all of this.
definitely. And a
And
hug, big
in the
hugs.
in the big city, it would be wonderful. And right, a big hug, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing what you're doing. It's very inspiring. It's very positive and hopeful. You're really opening up to the world and sharing your story in a beautiful way. And it's all part of communication and all part of the human experience. And you're doing it in an extraordinary and impactful way. And again, it's part of your it's really part of your calling, and you're living your bliss through all of this experience. And we applaud you. We'll keep the porch light open and on for you so we can have you back down the line. And again, I hope the show met whatever expectations you had and you enjoyed yourself
I
tonight.
had the best time. Thank you again. And you are such a special person, and it was truly an honor. And thank you for having me.
My pleasure. You take care.
Yes.
As I say to all the guests, now go stretch those legs.
Yes. Well,
We-
I did stretch a little bit leaving the
when you went to
chair.
get the stuff, that
Yeah.
was an early stretch.
That was yeah, that's true. I need to stretch some
Because
more.
we've chatted 2 hours and 31 minutes.
Oh my
Could you
God.
believe that?
Wow.
Everybody says it never feels like that.
Wow.
It doesn't feel like that. It's a conversation, right?
Yeah, like we're over coffee, just catching up.
That's it.
And thank you for
Exactly.
sharing, with the people that you mentioned that had been affected by cancer. And thank you
Sure.
for sharing that. And, my heart goes out to you and everyone out there too that lost a loved one from
Absolutely.
cancer or anything else. It's
I think there probably isn't anybody watching who hasn't known somebody that has either friend or family member or colleague. It's still prevalent. That and heart disease are still tough
yes.
ones, and now we have the COVID. So life throws some things at you. It's just in how we all come together and
Mhm.
work through it. And
Exactly. And there for each other.
exactly. You have a wonderful night.
You
George
too.
enjoyed himself as well.
Hi,
He
George.
sends you lovity.
Hi, Lemony George. Oh,
And we will chat again soon. Thanks for
yes.
being with us,
Yes.
Valerie. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Bye, everyone, and thanks for tuning in and all the amazing comments.
Absolutely.
Love to the Lovedies.
Love to the lovities and to you, and spread the word about our show. We would love
Yeah.
that. And we'll have you back again down the line. It was a real pleasure. You stay well, keep smiling, and take care. And thanks for joining us, Valerie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hats off to you.
Tip,
Bye-bye.
tip the hats.
Tip the hat.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Wasn't that fantastic? Again, every show is something different. Every show is something unique and something really extra special. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. Brilliant playwright and performer and producer, but a little bit of a different approach this evening with the conversation we had talking about the Pink Hulk. And if you missed any of this really inspiring conversation and meaningful conversation, be sure and watch it again here on YouTube. Hey, we've got a couple more great guest videos sent in from our guests who have appeared on our show. And if anybody would like to make a video, whether you're a guest or you're a viewer, you can send them to us at gymmasterstv@gmail.com. We have so many that have come in from our guests, just celebrating the Jim Masters Show Live and telling us why they've enjoyed themselves. Here are two dear friends, Dina Fanai and Bob Kinkle. Dina with Avalon Music and Bob with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and they were guests on our show, and they have these wonderful words.
Hello, I'm Dina Fanay.
And I'm Bob Kinkle
from Avalona.
From Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Jim, we thank you so much for having us on your show this year. Being on your show is such a special experience, sharing stories with you, sharing laughs with you, sharing tears and deep experiences and stories with you is just amazing. And mostly what's amazing is that you have created such levity in the world. Only you could do it, and only you have done it. So once again, thank you for having us on the show. Here's to a lot more. And Happy New Year. Sending you much love, joy, creativity, health, and everything that your heart desires for this new year and beyond.
Happy New Year. It's been great. Be well.
Be well.
We thank them very much, and we'll have them back on the show as well. Also, remember, not that long ago in December, our great friend from the High Kings, the wonderful Darren Holden, not only the High Kings, but also Riverdance and so much more. He was a guest. I've interviewed him many times on public television in America, and we had a phenomenal episode. If you missed it, you can see all these episodes on our YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV. Darren from Ireland, from Riverdance and the High Kings, had these words he wanted to share with all of us.
Hey everybody, it's Darren Holden here from the High Kings. I wanted to give a big shout out to my old friend Jim Masters for having me on as a special guest on his show, The Jim Masters Show, recently. What an absolutely great time that was. One of my very, very favorite TV interviews in a long, long time. Jim is a legend, and he's well known all over the United States for being the very best in his field. And there's no doubting he will continue to be that going forward in 2021. Jim, thanks a million, and I hope we can do it again soon. Take care, buddy.
That was really nice. And one of your favorites, we aired this once before. We'll air it again. She's amazing, and she's coming back on the show in a couple of weeks. Yes, our friend Dreama Denver, the brilliant, brilliant individual, lovely person inside and out. Wife of Bob Denver, who played Gilligan on Gilligan's Island and Dobie Gillis. She had these words she wanted to share with us.
Hi, everybody. This is Dreama Denver. And I was lucky enough or blessed enough to be a guest on the Jim Masters Show in 2020. This crazy year of 2020. Insanity all the way around. And one of the best things for me in 2020 was getting to meet Jim and to be part of what he's doing. I love what he's putting out there. All the positivity and the levity and just really putting good things out into the world. We need that so much, I think now more than ever. So my wish for 2021 is that I get to be on the Jim Masters Show again. I have a new book coming out in 2021, probably in February, and I would love to be able to tell all of you about it. It was so wonderful to meet all of Jim's viewers through comments and to get to know you guys. And I know it's been a while since I've been on, so I'm sure all of that has just snowballed, and it's been a wonderful experience for everybody who has been on the show. So Jim, thank you so much for having me. I will be thrilled to do it again if you'll have me back. And everybody, I think we can safely say 2020, bye-bye, and 2021, oh, come on, let's make this a good one. Thank you guys so much.
The wonderful Dreama Denver. And also here's a fresh one, a new one from the wonderful performer Ann Kittredge, who was a guest on our show. We had a wonderful time with her, and she has these very special words for all of us.
Hello, Jim Masters fans and viewers, and And Jim, hi, how are you? It's been a while, but it was such a pleasure meeting you last year and being on your show. I just love your levity. And I wish you the very best in 2021. Take good care. Hope to see you soon. Bye.
Those are just some of the guest comments. There's many more. We'll sprinkle them in as we go along here on the Jim Masters Show Live. We appreciate our guests sending in videos and our viewers too. We have some from viewers as well. I think we're gonna do a whole episode just on all these incredible comments and videos that have come in from our fantastic guests from last year, this year, and more. Ann Wozniak says, good night, Jim and everyone. This was an amazing evening. My pleasure. Mary Bishop says, good night, everyone. June says, good night. And to all of you as well. I'm so glad I got to see most of the show. I'm touched by the deepest part of my heart after hearing about Valerie's courageous fight. I pray that God blesses her with continued good health. Absolutely. And Maureen, knowing you work in the healthcare industry, I know that really deeply touches you greatly. Thank you for those words. Good night, Jim and fellow Lovities. Excellent show. Valerie touched my heart, and I pray she stays cancer-free. Everyone stays safe and stay well. You as well, Bernadette and Crystal Nolan in Connecticut. Good night, Jim and everyone. Thank you for another amazing and inspiring show. You as well, Crystal. Thanks for joining us. Night Lovities. You as well, my friend June. And Juanitas as well, Jim. What an impactful show. So worth the cry headache. Valerie is a real superhero. And good night, everyone, as well. Well, my pleasure, gang. We thank you for all of the time and all the attention. And this was a very special show. And I just want to let you know that tomorrow we have another amazing guest, actually a extraordinarily beloved Broadway star is joining us tomorrow, a Tony-winning Broadway star. Melissa Errico is going to be with us, Tony-winning Broadway star. That is tomorrow night live. Her husband happens to be Patrick McEnroe, tennis player and broadcaster, and her brother-in-law is John McEnroe, yes, the tennis star as well. Melissa is a brilliant Broadway star. She's going to be here, and that is tomorrow. Then on Friday, dear friend of mine, acclaimed soprano Anna Veleva is going to be here. She's going to perform live. That is Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Saturday, the cast of Freestyle Love Supreme are going to be here. Freestyle Love Supreme is an incredible troupe of performers as well, and it's all comedy too. And it's incredibly funny, but at the same time, very poignant. Co-founded by Lin-Manuel Miranda, of course, you know, who created and founded In the Heights and Hamilton on Broadway. They're going to be here on Saturday exclusively at a special time. That's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern. So it's a special time, 8 p.m. Eastern, here on our YouTube channel. It's going to be exclusive. And that's Freestyle Love Supreme. They're going to be here on Saturday. Sunday, the Rumjacks, fantastic, very popular Celtic rock band, are going to be here. They hail originally from Australia. They have Irish roots, and some of their members are going to be here from the States. Some are going to be chiming in from Ireland at the same time. The Rumjacks are here at a special time, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, 8 p.m. in Ireland, Scotland, and England. That is this Sunday. Then next Tuesday, another fantastic singer and actor and award-winning performer. This is Brian Charles Rooney. He's going to be here. That's coming up on Tuesday of next week. Brian's going to be here, and we're looking forward to that. He's a good friend as well. Then on Wednesday, Joey Calveri is going to be with us. He's been with Rock of Ages and so many incredible productions. He's amazing. He's going to be here on Wednesday. Thursday, an amazing show, the Byrne Brothers. This is a wonderful family group of musicians and performers, originally hailing from Ireland, from Dublin. Then they lived in Donegal, and now they live in Orlando, Florida. You can see the three brothers with their dad. Their dad is on the right. They are incredibly popular, and they're going to be with us for a mini concert exclusively on our show next Thursday, March 4th, exclusively here. That's right. We look forward to that. And also upcoming, the extraordinary, legendary Dee Wallace. Dee Wallace was in the movie E.T., and The Howling, and Murder, She Wrote, and Policewoman, and The Streets of San Francisco, and you name the TV show or the movie, she's probably been in it. Dee Wallace is a Hollywood veteran and legend, and she's going to be here coming up very soon as well here on the Jim Masters Show Live. So, as you always know here on the show, when we get ready to wrap, we tell you to don't forget to smile, as well as don't forget to share the lovity. We always say that here on the show. And that's really important because, you know, the world is a crazy place and you never know. Life is short. So you got to savor every single minute and share it with the world. And of course, find your Zen place. My Zen place is with loving family and friends. Tennis and music and writing and all kinds of cool things. But the ocean, you know, growing up here in the Northeastern United States along the coast, the ocean is my Zen place. So you put me near the ocean, although right now I don't think I would take a dive in the ocean. Little nippy, but I'm always usually swimming and surfing and boogie boarding and sailing it and everything else. And so the ocean is one of my fantastic Zen places. And of course, all my work in television and radio and stage and multimedia all these years is another Zen place for me when I'm doing my thing on TV, radio, stage, and including this show as well for all of you. Again, you can find us 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series. And of course, one more thing we do, I tell you, production value, this is something. Some go by here, but we do it every night. Don't forget to relax. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to love one another. And don't forget to love yourself, not in an egotistical, narcissistic way, in a way that, you know, reminds you that you are valuable and you have worth. Kind of like what Valerie was talking about tonight. So we always show this at the end of our show. Relax, breathe, and breathe deeply from the diaphragm. It's so important to do that. It makes a big difference when you take a deep diaphragm breath. So relax and care for one another. Another fantastic show. We've got guests coming up throughout the week. It's been amazing. And we thank everybody around the world with our international audience for joining us on this episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. We're something different, again, like a traditional talk show, variety show, entertainment show, coupled with the modern twist of today. Christine Clifton says, thanks again for this inspiring show with Valerie. A super show tonight. Good night, Jim and Lovedies. Till next time. And again, it's one of those shows you probably want to watch again. Very inspiring and with some levity in there too. And levity. Have a great night, Jim, with all the emojis. And good night, all. Stay safe. Lovely hugs from Kathleen Walker in New York. You too as well. Kathy Short in Cleveland, Ohio. Good night, Jim. Great episode tonight. See you next time. We'll be here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Wonderful, inspiring show. Thank you, Jim. Kathleen, my pleasure. And you have a good night. Everybody have a good night or good day or good morning. If you are in Australia, good day. You're just starting your day in New Zealand and Australia. Wow, Jim, what an impactful show. So worth the cry headache. Valerie is a real superhero. Good night, everyone. My pleasure. My pleasure. You might want to take an aspirin. Thanks for the kind words. Good night, Jim and fellow lovedies. Excellent show. Valerie touched my heart, and I pray she stays cancer-free. Everyone stay safe, stay well. You too, Bernadette. Good night, Jim and everyone. Thank you for another amazing and inspiring show. Thank you, Crystal. Love when you're always tuning in as well here on the Jim Masters Show Live. And Maureen says, good night, all. Lovety group hug. All right, gang, here we go. There's that lovety group hug that you guys love. And we say thank you for joining us here. It's your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time. This time till next time, we will be here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And we hope you're here too. You have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thanks for joining us on the Jim Masters Show Live. Good night.